Welcome back, Truth Seeker. January 20th, 2019. And it's no surprise who's won the conference championship games and what the Super Bowl is going to be. If you've been following me this season, especially on Patreon, I've said since the conclusion of Week 1's games, the Super Bowl will be the Patriots versus the Rams. If it's not the Rams, it'll be the Saints. And, of course, we've had the Patriots in the Super Bowl since before the season even began, because Tom Brady's the magic age, 41 years old, where in Gematria, the language you need to know to see through how these games are rigged, Super Bowl equals 41. Last year, the Eagles won the Super Bowl with 41 points over Tom Brady. 41 is the 13th prime number. It was the rematch of the Super Bowl 13 years earlier. Super Bowl 39 and Super Bowl 52, Patriots and Eagles. And if you weren't with me last year, I said after Week 3 why the Super Bowl would be Patriots and Eagles, and why the Eagles would begin 10-1. Won a ton of money for a lot of people last NFL season, continue to win a lot of money for a lot of people by exposing how these games are scripted. And to go back to earlier in 2018, I said, if the Boston Red Sox make the World Series, I said this in July on my radio show and in other places. I have a radio show every Wednesday night on TFR. In July, I said, if the Red Sox make the World Series, mark it down, they'll win in Game 5, 4-1, 4-1 like 41, the Super Bowl number, because it's a span of 99 days from the Super Bowl. And this is the 99th NFL season. Tonight, Tom Brady just got his 99th career road win, winning in Arrowhead Stadium, which equals 99 in Gematria, just like Patrick Mahomes Jr. does. The world of sports is scripted by the exact code I've been educating about for 5 years. I want to talk about some of these things, including the other riddle we talked about in July, the story of Tom Brady seeing a bear in the woods. That riddle became clear on Patreon when we were breaking it down earlier this week. The cow bear that's in the Super Bowl is Jared Goff from the Bay Area, like Brady. And who is Jared Goff's receiver? Is it Robert Woods, like how Tom Brady saw a bear in the Montana woods? In case you missed this story, which we covered, the news broke July 4th, 4-7, kind of like 47, like how the first Super Bowl was in the 47th season of the NFL. Tom Brady encounters bear in Montana woods. Jared Goff throwing to Woods. Jared Goff, the cow bear. By the way, California was established in history on September 9th, 9-9, like 99. By the way, the United States of America was named the United States of America on September 9th. The United States of America equals 99. But notice, Montana is the 41st state. I talked about this in July. I put this out there for free for everyone. I said, Tom Brady's 41. He's seeing a bear in the Montana woods, the 41st state, the big Super Bowl number. Don't sleep on that. Don't sleep on that at all. There's more to reveal about these states in light of the upcoming Super Bowl, but I'm going to save that for my Patreon. And for all of you who aren't signed up for Patreon, I'm doing something that I've never done before this weekend. It's only $5 a month to get all of my sports picks. That's nothing. You know, go see how many people are following my Patreon if you think this is all a hoax. You know, I got more followers than people who have 1 million YouTube subscribers by a lot. You can check out some of these channels that supposedly have 1 million YouTube followers. They got like 50 people signed up for their Patreon. The reason people are signed up for mine is because they're making money, you know. And I'm not charging a lot. I could be charging a whole lot more for this knowledge. I charge $5 because I'm trying to help people get up. If enough people give me $5, I'm making plenty like I am now. And, you know, it's good to help other people get up, which is exactly what's going on in this community. So anyway, Patreon, if you sign up this weekend, you get the Super Bowl pick. You get the Super Bowl pick. And for just $5, you also get to download my entire book. 800-page book. There's an entire chapter, which is very long, on how sports are rigged. You can learn a whole lot. And just beware, if you do come to my channel, there's trolls all over it, just like how there's been trolls all over my work for 5 years. There are literally trolls paying to troll here that live here. They're here 24/7, 365, so just ignore the trolls. The reason why is because I'm tampering literally with billion-dollar industries. I am fully exposing how sports are scripted. I've been doing it for years. For those of you who aren't around, the USA Today was the first major publication to take a shot at me. They wrote this article January 27th, 2016, nearly 3 years ago now. This guy, he clowns my work. And why did they write this article? It's because in October of that NFL season, I said why the Broncos would beat the Panthers, what it had to do with the ongoing race war being provoked by the media, why Von Miller would win the MVP, why it would be a tribute to Super Bowl 24, and why there would be a Black Panther tribute at the Super Bowl. All of which happened. Broncos beat Panthers with 24 points. Von Miller was the MVP, and defensive players are rarely the MVP. That was a big payout. And Beyonce got criticized for dressing up as a Black Panther. That Super Bowl was in the Bay Area. The Black Panthers were established the year of the first Super Bowl by Huey P. Newton, like how Cam Newton wears a Black Panther on his helmet. You know, and you know how the media does, just like how the NFL does, always shaming black people. You know, only 2 black quarterbacks have ever won the Super Bowl, and they both won in connection to number 42. Number they stamp all over black history. The name Jackie equals 42. So does the N-word. Doug Williams won it for the Redskins with 42 points. Russell Wilson from the 42nd state won it. But you can come read this article, what USA Today said about me, and whether they were just mad that I'm exposing their leaks. And there's been multiple articles written. The other one I always think about is this one from Vice Sports. They made fun of me after I exposed the World Series, said by the Astros beat the Dodgers, what it had to do with the flooding and the burning in the respective states. Anyway, the cat's out of the bag. And I honestly don't think it's a coincidence that all this NFL season, the NFL ran a campaign called The Script is Flipped, because things have been a little bit different this year. They've been a little bit different. But let's go back. Let's just do this. The 2018 World Series. My video is still up on this channel. Before Game 5 was played, I said why the Red Sox would definitely win it, why Chris Sale would close out the game, which he did, number 41. You know, it was all understood. We predicted it in July. Red Sox make the World Series. They're going to win it 4-1 in Game 5 on October 28th, exactly a span of 99 days from the Super Bowl February 3rd. It's the 99th NFL season. What do you know? New England equals 99. Plus, that's why you want to know Gematria. If you're new here, this is Gematria. The most pure cipher out of these 4 ciphers is the dark blue one. Boston Red Sox 53, it's Super Bowl 53. Here's how these 4 ciphers work. Remember the Boston Red Sox tied their win mark in their 154th game? That's the old baseball season schedule. Talk more about that. But here's how these 4 ciphers work. The dark green is the alphabetic order. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z is 26. Just using alphabetic order. The next cipher is the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. So A is still 1, B is still 2, C is still 3. Where it changes is when you get to J, the 10th letter. The numerology of 10 is 1 plus 0 was 1. So you just make each letter a single digit number. K, 11, 1 plus 1 is 2. L, 12, 1 plus 2 is 3. All the way up to Z, the 26th letter, 2 plus 6 is 8. Simple. Now, these last 2 ciphers are just the reverse alphabetic order and the reverse alphabetic order with numerology. So notice Z is 1. Back to A is 26, and the last cipher is the reverse alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. Simple. And just look at this stuff. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Baseball, when you write this out, notice the Gematria 54, like 54 outs in a complete game. Notice the 162 when you flip the alphabetic order around, like how many games are in a modern MLB season. 54 again. 18 matters. Think about when Roger Maris hit 61 and 61. 61 is the 18th prime number. Tributes. Go back and look at that play. You can watch the highlight. The pitcher was number 39, throwing it to number 22 catcher. 39 to 22, 61 as Maris hits number 61 and 61. Look at Major League. Remember the other year when I guaranteed the Cubs would win the World Series in spring training? There's 108 double stitches on a baseball. The Cubs broke the 108-year drought. Major League 108, baseball 54. What was the Red Sox record this year? Was it 108 and 54? You know, their record season. How many game balls do they sell for every Super Bowl? The answer is 108. 108 is how many they sell. You know why? It's because of this. The word geometry equals 108. Notice when you flip the alphabetic order around, geometry is 108. It's the same reason there's 108 double stitches on a baseball. Where 108 in geometry come together is the relationship between this Earth, the sun, and the moon. They say from the Earth to the sun is the diameter of 108 suns, and they say from the Earth to the moon is the diameter of 108 moons. And they also say the diameter of the sun is 108 Earths across. Special number 108. It's not arbitrary that they make 108 game balls for the Super Bowl. And here, if you think I'm making this stuff up, we're in the information age. How many game balls for the Super Bowl? That's all you got to do. Just type out a few words. During the Super Bowl, 108 game balls and 12 kicker balls are used. 108. See? You see? So anyway, covered Tom Brady seeing a bear in the Montana woods. Now he's facing Jared Goff, the Cal Bear, and Robert Woods. We've revisited why the state Montana number 41 matters when he's 41 years old. Talked about the World Series concluding a span of 99 days from the Super Bowl. And what was the World Series? Was it Boston and LA? What's the Super Bowl? Boston and LA? The Patriots used to be the Boston Patriots. So there's that. Just a few more things to cover here. By the way, I'm going to put a phone number out there. If anybody wants to call in a moment, talk about this rig sports thing. Earlier this year when the Chiefs and Patriots played, Patriots, we had them penciled in to win this game, get that W by the numbers as they did. Notice the score, 43-40, 83 points. Tom Brady's born on August 3rd. 83 is the 23rd prime, like how the Super Bowl's on 2-3. The word football with the alphabetic order is 83. They say the best draft class ever was the class of 83. And the name Brady has that connection to 23. 83, the 23rd prime. Big win early in the Patriots season. The Chiefs, before this loss, were 5-0. You know how knows Brady's 50. Chiefs is 50. This year, Mahomes threw 50 touchdowns because it's all this scripted. But this game right here, from this game, which was played, I believe it was October 14th. Yeah, this game was October 14th, 2018. I want you to see this. From October 14th, 2018 to today's game, January 20th, 2019, a span of 99 days. It's the 99th NFL season. That game where the Patriots beat the Chiefs in the regular season, that was on Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football, 99, right? Tonight, Tom Brady got his 99th career road win, which was a shoo-in. It wasn't hard to see. It was the game that I told people who follow my Patreon, that's the game to put your money on this weekend because, you know, how do they not get the 99 in Arrowhead Stadium in the 99th NFL season? And notice Patrick Mahomes Jr., who was the sensation of the league this year, his name's 99. Let me look up real quick what his actual full name is. I just want you guys to understand how scripted all of this is. And I want you to understand how these ciphers are so important. So his full name is Patrick Lavon Mahomes II. Remember earlier this year when he passed Len Swan's record, and in that same game, his girl's father was there and he dropped dead at the game? Just a big coincidence, huh? Or is it what I've been explaining for 5 years, that these games are rigged and people get murdered for these tributes? But notice, his full name is also 99. And you see this 126 right here? You see this 126? I want you to see this. From his birthday, September 17th, he's 23 years old right now, losing to Brady. From September 17th to tonight's game, it's his 126th day of his age. Just like how his name is 126. You see that? His season ends on his 126th day of his age. Going down to Brady in the script. Going down to Brady. Okay. So let's look at these games. I'm not going to tell you everything that I know because I want you to sign up for the Patreon. I want you to invest $5. I want you to get my book. I want you to give something back for all these 5 years that I've been giving you guys winners after winners after winners. And, you know, I'm going to have to ignore my mom's call right now. She's going to want to know if my picks were right. I'll get her in a minute. But there's a lot here in these scores. And if you've been following Patreon, you just already see who's going to win the Super Bowl. I mean, they're the numbers we talked about before this week's game, and they're just staring us right there in the face. The Rams advanced 26-23. It went to overtime 23-23. The NFL's a joke. You know, the Saints had the game in their pocket. First and first and 10 at the 12-yard line, run the ball 3 times, kick a field goal, no time left in the game, go to the Super Bowl. Nope. Instead, we're going to throw the ball. We're going to throw some incompletions. We're going to stop the clock. Then we're going to kick the field goal and give the Rams nearly 2 minutes to go down and win the game, or tie it up and send it to overtime and then win the game. So this score, you see the 49 combined points, the 49. There's a whole lot more to this score, but I got to keep some secrets. And they're for the people who pay on Patreon. But it's not an accident that the game's at 49 points. Super Bowl 49, Jared Goff. Let's just look up his birthday real quick. Jared Goff. I want you to see how his birthday lines up with the Super Bowl here. Jared Goff, October 14th. He has the same birthday from the day the Chiefs and Patriots played each other. From his birthday to the Super Bowl is 112 days later. And again, when you flip the alphabetical order around, Super Bowl's 112. He's going to face the 41-year-old Tom Brady. The Rams kicked a 57-yard field goal to win it. Rams, 57. Been talking about this combination for years. When you write out 57, it equals 131. When you write out championship, it's 131. When you write out Super Bowl, it's 131. And people out there will say, well, how do you rig a 57-yard field goal? You have to understand, these kickers are paid millions of dollars to do what they do. They make and miss on command because these games are scripted. And did you see Zuerlein's kick? That kick looked like it would have been good from 75 yards. I mean, he booted that ball through the thing. You can see what a leg that guy has. Plus, it's a dome, you know, no weather elements to compete with. The other thing that I maintain is true, and you heard Al Michaels say this the other week when the Bears kicker hit the goalpost. He said it's almost like it's magnetized. I do believe, I think they are using technology to ensure outcomes. You know, Zuerlein's first kick that sent the game to overtime, that ball started to move right. And I don't know what kind of spin you can put on a ball once it starts to move right to make it all of a sudden just bend back left and in, because that's what Zuerlein's kick did to go to overtime. You know, go back and watch that highlight. And there's plenty of kicks to look like that. Just like that one throughout history. It's like, how does a ball move like that? It's slicing away, and then all of a sudden it just bends back and goes left. I don't understand that. It's not like a baseball. So anyway, there's all sorts of gems in this score. I am holding out on you guys. Let's talk about the Patriots and Chiefs score. Oh, man. I'm going to have to hold out here too, but I'm still going to show you enough. Patriots is 37. This is our most important cipher. 5 years ago when I was doing this, we were just looking at the alphabetic order and the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. Patriots is 37, right? Patriots 37. 37 is the 12th prime number. Tom Brady wears number 12. Remember what they did on SNF this year? They gave a numerology lesson on number 12. Do you remember this? It was the game of Brady versus Rodgers. And before Sunday Night Football started, they said, let's give the audience a numerology lesson. And then they put a 12 up there, and then they had all this occult symbolism. Do you remember this? What they didn't teach the audience was Gematria, the Jewish part of numerology. That's what this is. This is Jewish numerology. Tom equals 12. Poor Aaron. Poor Aaron, his name doesn't equal 12, and Aaron did not win that night. Aaron got humiliated this season after getting all that big money. Remember how much money he got? 134 million. See Vesica Pisces, that's the shape of the football. And the most pure cipher is 53. It's why you have a 53-man roster, a 53-yard wide field. 134 here. Remember what they did with Josh Gordon this year? Josh Gordon's got the 53 thing. His birthday is April 13th, 13/4. He got reinstated in the NFL 134 days after his birthday. They had all sorts of riddles paying tribute to the Vesica Piscis this year. Again, that's the shape of the football. So the Patriots won with 37. I dare you to look at the Patriots playoff record. Don't look at it today because it won't be updated until tomorrow. But look at the Patriots playoff record. Just think about this 37. The Chiefs, they went down with 31. Chiefs went down with 31. Okay, what's Chiefs equal? Oh, 31. 31's the 11th prime number. The Patriots are on their way to their 11th Super Bowl. You see how there's 68 combined points here? 68 points. Sacred geometry. Sacred geometry, 68. Sacred geometry, the most important shape in sacred geometry is the Vesica Piscis, which is the shape of the football. You know, it's also known as a mandorla. The most important shape, the Vesica Piscis. In sacred geometry, the belief is that all things in this world are born out of the Vesica Piscis. And think of, you know, a mother's womb, you know. If you type in mathematics, it has Gematria 68. Let's have a little fun. Basketball is also 68, so it's sweep. It's how we called the sweep of the Warriors on June 8th last year in the finals. But notice the word language. Language is also 68. And see, this is what they've done with the English language. They've encoded sacred geometry. Our entire language is built on this code. It's Masonic. All of the American sports are credited to Freemasonry. Look at this, you guys. The mathematical shorthand to get to pi like cycles and circles, geometry, you divide 22 by 7. You divide 22 by 7, you get the approximation of pi, 3.14. Look at what 22 divided by 7 equals with the alphabetic order. 314, just the most straightforward cipher. And how many degrees are in a circle? Again, pi has everything to do with circles. You write out 360, the degrees in a circle, it's 227. Like how 22 divided by 7 gives you pi. Our whole language is so cleverly thought out. So anyway, there's a whole lot more to these scores, and this score reveals what the outcome of the Super Bowl will be, you know. It's a joke. And I mean, just look at, I mean, these games are just such a joke, man. How many points were scored in the end of this game? You know what? The Chiefs scored a touchdown with like, what, 2:03 left? And then the Patriots go down and score a touchdown. And then the Chiefs drive almost the whole field and kick a field goal to send it to overtime. I mean, it just gets more ridiculous every single year. It really does. Something else that I should mention, and if you watch my other channel, you know, Gematria Effect News, I talked about how yesterday the big story was the death of the U.S. figure skater. He reportedly committed suicide. And I actually gave a big clue in that video. I said, I told people what to look for to see who would win the game. And that was a clue that the Patriots today got their 16th win against the Chiefs. 53 is the 16th prime number. You know, not by accident. Jared Goff, number 16, now is going to play in Super Bowl 53. By the way, in case I forgot to tell you this, Los Angeles, you see the 53-37. Look at Patriots, 37-53. And notice also Patriots is 118. Tom Brady's 118. I want you to think about that Los Angeles wildfire on November 8th. And again, tragedies being synced up with sports. Jared Goff won the game against the Chiefs after the fire on primetime, and they talked about how Jared Goff's father was a firefighter. Remember this? Well, hold up. What's this figure skater who died? Let me see. This should pull it up. This guy is from Kansas City, Missouri right here. John Coughlin, apparent suicide. Guarantee you that's not what happened here. I just want you to see this. This guy is from Kansas City, Missouri, right? He reportedly killed himself on 118. And look at the name John Coughlin. I want you to see this. John Coughlin, 136. Look at suspended. 136. What 136 is the 16th triangular number. That means if you add 1 through 16, it equals 136. This comes right before the Patriots pick up their 16th win against the Kansas City, Missouri football team. It's like this every single year. And pay attention in the week ahead. Watch the date January 24th, which is 4 days from today. Guess that'll be a Thursday. Yeah, that's right. Watch the date January 24th. That date can be written 24/1, like 241, third prime number. You're going to see a former NFL player die on that day. And I'm sorry to say that, but that's just the way this works every single year. They kill people ritualistically for these rigged sports games, and they kill them on dates that have to do with whatever the event number is for that season. 241's the 53rd prime. You know, that death will come just days before Super Bowl 53. It's sick. It's sick what goes on. Last month, was it last month or was it the month before? It was December. Hold on, let me think about this. Got to think for a second. It was December 16th, 18. That's what day it was. It was a date with 44 and 64 numerology, just like January 24th will be. The word kill has gematria 44 and 64. Last month on December 14th, 18, this date with 44 and 64 numerology, a former Atlanta Falcon dropped dead 44 days after his own birthday, reportedly from cancer. Notice Georgia's 44. That's who's hosting the Super Bowl. Cancer's 44, chemo's 44, kill 44. This upcoming month, January 24th, is the date with the 44 and 64 numerology. And I have no doubt we're going to read about another death of a former NFL player. That's why this knowledge needs to get out, so people can understand the games are rigged, which is important. A lot of people wasting their time and energy in a lie. But even worse is that people are being murdered for these rigged games. Season after season, you know? Including this guy right here, John Coughlin, dead right before the biggest sports event in Kansas City, Missouri in a long time. You know, right before the Patriots come in and get win number 16 against the team. You see the video I put out yesterday? I dropped the clue. The other thing about 16 and him being dead at 33, there's only two numbers when written out as words that sum to 33, 16 and 90, you see. So, there's a whole lot more I would like to tell you. If you want to know the whole lot more that'll really blow your mind, come here, sign up for the Patreon. $5, you get the pick, you get the book. You know, you'll see. I just want to tell you guys right now, I'll tell everybody once the Super Bowl's over. You know, for 5 years, I did this for free, guys. And in those 5 years, I never asked for $1. I never had an ad on a channel. And all I did was got brutalized in this world. You know, I had my house burglarized, harassed by police. I've had the FBI come to my house. You know, threats and intimidation, death threats in the mail. You know, put up with a lot. Had a guy with a checkerboard mask make a YouTube video telling me to watch out on Christmas Eve 2016. And what happened to me? Had a car crash through my house that I had to end up paying for a huge chunk of the damage. You know, the insurance company said because my house was built in 1960, they wouldn't cover the full thing because of depreciation. I ended up paying like $7,000 and some dollars out of my own pocket because I had a car crash through my house, then drive away from the scene, you know, after being threatened. So I gave you guys a lot for 5 years, helped a lot of people get up and get ahead. You know, gave you guys that Cavs pick when they were down 3-1, the guarantee the Cavs would come back and win on the real King James's birthday. It's too bad YouTube's deleted my channel a million times over. I used to love to read the comments that were in that video when the Cavs came back and won. Literally over $1 million worth of earnings from people just saying what they want in the comments. People saying they've never had so much money in their life. And that's why this knowledge pays. And again, I could be charging a whole lot more than $5 a month for the knowledge I put out. I put out $5 because it's a meager cost. Everyone can afford it, even a homeless person, literally. And everyone deserves to have this knowledge. So you guys help me get up. I help you get up. And like the other thing I've been saying is, if we get to 10,000 patrons, I will drop all tier costs to $1 a month. $1 a month, you'll get everything. The books, the sports content, the daily podcast, every single thing I do, Gematria School, I'll just charge a flat rate of $1 a month. You get everything because there's enough people here supporting it. So surprised people can't cough up that dollar for this knowledge, man. There's nothing better on the web. There isn't. There hasn't been for the last 5 years, period. You know, nobody ever came along and showed how sports and news were all scripted together and proved it year after year. And there's a lot of people in this world who are real happy at this moment because a lot of people reached out to me after week 1 and said, "What's your Super Bowl pick, Zach?" I said, based on what I saw with that Monday Night Football game, it looks like it's a repeat of the Rams and the Patriots. And that's what it is. So I had a guy, a dentist in Portland, Oregon, my home city, reach out to me. He gave me $500, a $500 PayPal donation when he came across my work. And he said, "I'm going down to Vegas. You got to give me the winner, man." And I said, "Wow, you're putting the pressure on me, man. I feel like I got to give you the winner." And I do believe I gave him the winner. He's got the right teams in the Super Bowl. And, you know, so do a number of other people. So when the announcers are telling you they couldn't have scripted it any better, they mean it. Hey, notice how Montana was established November 8th? Hey, that's a trip, November 8th. Isn't that like 118, like the day California burned when Tom Brady saw a bear in the woods? And they're the 41st state. When you write out 41, it's 118. Remember, this is how I predicted that George Herbert Walker Bush would die at age 94 before the end of November, which he did. Oh, man. He was number 41. Read out George Herbert Walker Bush. It's 118. You know, he was the member of Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones, 41. Ossuary, that's where the symbolism of Skull and Bones comes from, 118. Adam Levine, who's doing the halftime show, he's from Los Angeles, and from his birthday to the Super Bowl's 322 days later, the Skull and Bones number. Don't forget Walter Camp, who's credited with American football, went to Yale and likely was in Skull and Bones. And don't forget what happened to Alex Smith this year. Remember that? Alex Smith on the 322nd day of the year. The freak injury, the major 99 ritual. It was week 11. 11 equals 99. Alex Smith wears number 11. 99, J.J. Watt was on top of him. J.J. Watt's birthday is March 22nd, 322. Joe Theismann, his birthday was September 9th. You know, if you missed my video on Alex Smith breaking his leg on the same day, on the same hash mark that Joe Theismann did, you got to check that out. You have no idea how scripted this stuff is. And the only question I have is, did Alex Smith really break his leg? I mean, in the replay, it looked like it was broken, but I just, you know. And I'm going to say that out there too. A lot of people are hating because before the season began, I put out a Super Bowl pick of the Patriots versus the Redskins. And I said it is kind of a long shot with the Redskins, but I just want to go over the reason I did that pick. Redskins equals 99. It's the 99th NFL season. And what did I say? I said the reason the Patriots would play the Redskins, the symbolism of that would be the white man coming and genociding the native population. Because this year is about the United States of America and the flag and the national anthem. 99, the United States of America, named on September 9th in history. The same day that California was established as a state. What just happened in the AFC Conference Championship? Did the Patriots just go into the home of the Chiefs, the other team with native symbolism, and beat them? You know? Again, Tom Brady's 41. That's the Super Bowl number. That's also the USA number. USA, 41, the 13th prime, the nation that began with 13 colonies, 13 stripes. You know, so people can hate all they want about my preseason pick, you know, around the same time that I also said why the Red Sox, if they make it to the World Series, will win in Game 5 and would be a good sign for the Patriots to be in the Super Bowl. You know, people can hate all they want. But once week 1 happened and what I saw in week 1, I knew that it probably wasn't going to be the Redskins, and it looked like it was going to be Patriots and Rams. And like I said, if I was wrong about the Rams, it would probably be the Saints. So not a bad call. 3 of those teams made it to the conference championship, and the Chiefs, early in the season, I said it looks like AFC conference championship will be Patriots and Chiefs. And Chris Collinsworth, who does Sunday Night Football, the guy who was once a young player in the NFL and told the cameras with a smiling face that he was killing it with the 14-year-old girls. Can you imagine if a black man said that? Do you think he'd ever have a career announcing games? It's all sick symbolism. Chris Collinsworth is a sick dude. What kind of grown man who's in the NFL making millions, get any girl he wants, is killing it with the 14-year-olds? Only Chris Collinsworth, who now has a son that looks like his clone who has the same voice as him and that works on ESPN. But Chris Collinsworth, early in the season, what did he say? He said, I predict the Chiefs win the AFC, and the only team that would be able to beat them in Arrowhead would be the New England Patriots. You think he knew what the script was? Hey, as another reminder, New England equals 99 before the season began. I pointed out they came into the season with 523 franchise wins, the 99th prime number. Talk about a sign. Tom Brady gets his 99th road win tonight in Arrowhead Stadium, 99. And I also pointed out that over there with the Los Angeles Rams, they had the most 99 man in the league, Aaron Donald, number 99, whose name equals 99 with the alphabetic order, who ended his holdout 99 days after his May 23rd birthday, like 523, the 99th prime. And again, for those of you who are going, how do you know all this stuff? It's because I've been doing this and talking about this stuff for so long. Plus, this website's right here to help anybody out. You just type in a number, 520. Prime, yes, the 99th. And somebody, if I didn't say this already, somebody texted me on the Gematria hotline and they said, Zach, Aaron Donald was chanting out on camera 5-2-3 after the game. I got to find that clip. If somebody has that clip out there, you got to send that to me. 5-2-3. So there's always lots of haters when I do this work. All these idiots that show up and say, oh, you predict everything wrong. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Did you call Eagles and Patriots last year after week 3? Oh, you didn't? Did you tell people the Eagles would start out 10-1? Did you tell people this year after week 1 the Super Bowl would be Patriots and Rams? Have you called out as many championships in your life as I've called in the last 5 years, college and pro? I screw up. I don't get it all right, And sometimes I really kick myself. Like when the Clemson football player died earlier this year, I pointed out that was a good sign Clemson would be in the championship. And it was the same riddle with the year that they won the championship over Alabama. And they went on to win it this year. But you know what? I screwed up. This year, Alabama had a lot of solid numbers. And I thought despite Clemson having the same stuff on the board, Alabama was going to take it. But you know what? That happens. I make mistakes. Still, I've exposed how these games are scripted, how it's all done. That Clemson player. Number 27. Clemson 27. Same stuff goes on from college to pro. And again, you win some, you lose some, but when you know this work and you follow what I put out, you win a lot more than you lose. And that's just a fact. The average gambler loses a lot. That's why casinos are rich. That's why some of the richest men in the world are those who own casinos. And I don't think gambling's a good thing. But the people who follow my work, they're the only gamblers in the world who win more than they lose. Okay? And I've done that for 5 years straight. Help people actually win in gambling. Just go on Patreon and listen to what people have to say. One guy was totally broke. His car was in the shop. He couldn't get it out. After NFL season, his car's out. He's got money saved up. And again, I don't want to advocate for people to be winning money off these leagues, honestly. I mean, it comes with the territory. But what I want, my whole goal, is to get everyone to see how these games are scripted and people are being murdered for them. I can't emphasize it enough. So anyway, if you want to call in, if you got anything to say, the number's 509-731-0567. That's the Gematria hotline. I pick it up when I'm here in front of my computer. I just keep it on silent. I don't pick it up if I'm not in this room. So some people call here and I never pick up. That's because I'm not in the room. But if I'm in the room, the hotline's open. And if anybody wants to call in to voice something, especially any of the trolls or naysayers, let me laugh at you on the phone and remind you that nobody in the history of the world has done what I've done. Nobody's called as many championships. No one's ever exposed how these games are scripted. Never done before. You know, the only people who should be hating are the people who actually script and rig the thing, who don't want the masses to know. But again, the number's 509-731-0567 if you want to phone in. And one more time, the link is in the description of every video. You just go down to where the link is to Patreon, or you go to patreon.com/Zachary K. Hubbard. You come here, you click the Become a Patron, and if you want the sports pick and the book, you sign up at the $5 tier. Come here, you get the pick, you scroll down the page, you download the book. The book's right there. Get the entire book. You know, deal of a lifetime. That book should be worth a fortune. So maybe nobody wants to call in. That's okay. We can just wrap it up right here then. I think we covered all the main points. Well, everything that I was willing to give out on this podcast. 5 years ago, I would have told you everything. But I did give you enough knowledge tonight to figure it out yourself too. So point out one more thing. Oh, we got a caller here. I'm going to talk about why this guy's born in '85 in a second. Hello?
Hey, Zach.
What's up?
Hey, man. I just wanted to call and talk to you, tell you, man, don't even sweat these guys. These guys are definitely checking your page out. They're adjusting. They don't want to admit that their facade is a facade. It's a fake. So they're going to try to prove you wrong. Just to do that. I think that's like the number one thing right now. But the Patriots will win the Super Bowl, just like you said. I mean, they've been doing it the whole season, just by the numbers. Man, sometimes I hear you on your posts, and you're saying you're not doing such a good job decoding, or you get down on yourself. Man, I've made more money with you this year than I've ever made sports betting, brother. And I can only imagine, like I said, these leagues, they're onto you, man, and they're gonna try to put off. You know, they're gonna try to put it off as far as it can, but the script always comes back and plays it out like in week 17. It was so easy to make money on week 17 because all the stuff that you said prior to that week 17 was the easiest call for me because they kept putting it off. I was always missing it by one game every week. But week 17, I just blasted it, and then everything came down the way you said it would come down. And there's just no way around it, man. These guys it's obviously a fraud. You know, thank you for adding me on Facebook. I thank you for letting me be a part of your Patreon subscriber family, man. Thank you.
You're very welcome, and thank you for joining the Patreon. It means a lot to all of you who are out there supporting, and I really do want to get the number up to 10,000 so I can just drop the cost to $1 a month, and then everybody gets everything. So that's the goal.
All right, thanks, Zach.
All right, man. Have a good night. So the hotline is open if you want to call in, 509-731-0567. You know, everyone who is signed up on my Patreon and who gambles is making money. That's just something that's unheard of. Casinos own gamblers. Again, the richest people in the world own casinos. It's because these games are nonsensical. Gamblers, most gamblers, they use a logical mind. How could this team ever lose to this team? And then they do. You know, how could this happen? And then it happens. You know, you got to know how the games are scripted. You got to know what they got planned. You got to know what their numbers mean. And my only fear is that if enough people catch on to this, the NFL and the world of pro sports, not just the NFL, they're going to have to flip the script as they've been advertising all season. They're going to have to change the way they do things. And I'm not sure that they can, because this stuff is planned long in advance. To make a point real quick, here, this caller's calling in. Caller, I'm taking your call. Just give me 1 second. Let me say this out loud, and then I'm putting you on. The point I want to make is LeBron James. He played for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And you have to understand, the Cavaliers, where that name comes from, is King James's son. King James's son was King Charles. The people who fought for King Charles were Cavaliers. And remember, LeBron ended up winning that only finals for the Cavs on the real King James's birthday in his 13th season. Like how King James became a king at 13 months of age. He was born for the throne. Think about that. And again, LeBron James, Steph Curry, born in the same hospital. Steph Curry, the father of Del Curry. Del Curry played his 73rd game of his season against Michael Jordan, the year Michael Jordan set the win record. Then years later, his son beats Michael Jordan's record with 73 wins. And I'm telling you guys, it's not hard to see who LeBron's father is, which is a secret. It's not hard to see who his father is. It's the same guy who had his jersey retired with the Warriors and Cavs, Nate Thurmond. The day LeBron won the finals for the Cavs, he scored 27 points in the Cavs' 103rd game of the season. 103 is the 27th prime, and 27 days later, Nate Thurmond, who's LeBron's father, who has the exact same hairline as him, dropped dead 27 days after LeBron scored 27. And go back and see who died before that NBA Finals. Anton Yelchin, the actor, was crushed to death by his own car in his driveway, a nonsensical story. He was 27 years old and had 103 birth numerology. And by the way, when LeBron won on the real King James's birthday, the Warriors lost with 89 points. King James equals 89. New York, are you still there? New York?
I can hear you.
All right, yeah, you're on now, man. You're on.
I just want to say that I'm a Patreon, and I want to thank you because you did give a 16 parlay that hit, and that already paid for my whole for the whole year worth of my Patreon. So I'd like to thank you for that.
You're very welcome. I'm sorry we didn't get more 16 parlays after that. This year was tougher than normal, but yeah, that is right. We did have the 16 parlay.
And not only that, the score number, it's like, before we had like a 31 to 13 score, and now at the end of the game for that New England Patriots was 31-31.
Right.
So I don't know if there's something to that number.
Yes, it's the 11th prime number. The Patriots are on their way to their 11th Super Bowl. When you write out 11, it equals 99, like how the Patriots won 11 games this regular season.
All right. I'm going to let you go. Keep up the good work, okay?
Appreciate it, man. Congratulations.
All
right, have a good one.
Bye.
Oh, somebody just called in, and I accepted the call, and for whatever reason, it hung up. If that was you who just called in, call right back. I'll pick it up. I don't know why it dropped you. That shouldn't have happened. So, did I make the point about this guy being born in 85, the dead Kansas City athlete right before this game? Did I make that point? Here, while we wait for this call to call back, let me just show you something. National Football League equals 85. See? And who's the face of the league? Whoops. Brady. Brady's 85. And hey, there's another 31. Caller just asked about 31. Again, 31's the 11th prime. Patriots on their way to their 11th Super Bowl. They won 11 games this regular season. 11 is 99, like the 99th NFL season. So, if your eyes are open, you might have saw something else up there. Again, Gematria. You got to know the ciphers, forwards and backwards. Let me see. Let me see if we got any new Patreon members. See if the message is getting out there. Nope. Nope. That is disappointing, but hey, people will probably come through later. So, I'll hang out here for another minute, see if this person wants to call back. I guess while I wait, I can check out the chat, see what's going on in the chat. We got all sorts of thoughts there in the chat. Hey, Sports Gematria, why don't you call in? Sports Gematria thought the Tom Brady Bear in the Woods thing was just a joke, but now we know it's not. Jared Goff, California Bears, throwing to Robert Woods. What's up, caller?
Hello?
You're on.
Oh, hey, I was just calling just to tell you that I've been, that I did buy your book, and I'm gonna, after you get offline, I'm gonna sign up and become a patron myself. And I just want you to know that I've been following your work for like a few months now, and just reading your book. And then every day that I get off of work, and I watch your lives, and it's just every video that you do is still amazes me how you're decoding all of this, and like how you were saying earlier in your life that you're literally the only person in the world to ever do this, and it's just amazing and mind blowing. So like just to see you do this consistently.
I appreciate it, man. I put a lot of time in the last 5 years, so.
Yeah. Oh, also, when is your I know you made a video once talking about your next book that you said you was gonna do.
I should be done with it about a month from now. I'm working on it. I estimate I'll be done in the middle of next month. So
okay.
that means when this one's going to actually get printed, and I know that it takes the publisher 2 to 3 months to get it into print. So it'll probably release mid-April to mid-May.
Okay.
Yeah. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call.
Yes, sir.
Have a good night.
You too.
Hello, caller.
Yes, I'm calling you again. Something significant I was talking to you about earlier. The Chiefs won over the Colts earlier, 30 in the playoff, 31-13, and now they lost 37-31.
Right.
So it all is kind of like the sequence, like you do.
Right. Right.
All right, that was it, really quick. All right.
Appreciate it. Again, 31 is the 11th prime. Here, I'll show you guys something else about that score of 31-13. That's 44 combined points. That was to go to the conference championship, right? Notice championship's also 68, like how in the 37-31 game, 68 combined points. I think I forgot to make that point. But championship's 193 as well, the 44th prime. So the Chiefs won 31-13, 44 combined points to advance to the conference championship. Again, all of these games, the scores are a riddle. They're all a riddle. Let me see. Let me come back out to the chat, see what's going on out there. Yeah. Jameson Jones has a great comment in the chat. So the Saints fell to 9-11 in the playoffs today by losing to the Rams. They became 9-11. And what I said after week 1, why in that moment I was all about a Patriots and Rams Super Bowl rematch, is because the Patriots, they came to power and beat the Rams after 9/11 in the Patriot Act. And don't forget that the word Patriot equals 99. Patriots 99, just the singular. So, where'd my chat go? So, recall, Monday Night Football, week 1, it was a doubleheader. You had the Jets and the Lions, and then you had the Rams and the Raiders. And if you go back and look, here, I'll just show you guys real quick. Monday Night Football, what day was that? It was September 10th, 2018. That's right, it was. And it carried into September 11th. Hold on, we're getting a caller here. I'll make this point after we take this call. What's up, caller?
Hello. Hey. Okay, so what's up, man?
What's going on, man?
I've been having trouble trying to email you about something I recently, I'm not saying recently, but a while back, I commented on it. So this was your video. I don't remember exactly what video it was, but I was trying to tell you, I don't know if you remember, it was a high school football game, and it was I was telling you it was Highland, it was Texas. It was a state game, it was a state high school football game, and it was Highland Park where Jerry Jones' grandson played. I don't believe he plays there anymore. So it was probably like last year. this was during the Texas State game, and I was trying to email you, the video. It was NFL like, it was kind of, y'all never really seen nothing happen in high school. And I was playing high school football, and like y'all speak, if you play football, how certain things should work. So, what happened was, I don't remember what they were playing, but, Jerry Jones' grandson was the quarterback of Highland Park for 4 years. And at the end of the, it was similar to like how, that I don't know if you remember in the NFL probably like a few years ago. I think it was the Redskins versus the Browns or something, and the Browns fumbled the ball.
Right.
Yeah. And they picked the ball up, and it was at least three things wrong with that play. You could see the people on the sideline, and no one complained. No one made a big deal about it. No flag was thrown. No flag was thrown. No flag was thrown. The refs, the players. I remember what happened, but I remember it was crazy. That's exactly what happened in that game. So I believe it was. No. What happened was I think they ran out of bounds or something like that. And they didn't, the clock didn't stop. The clock kept going. Nobody reacted. No. You know what I'm saying? It was, we got me and my brother couldn't believe. We had to record it, and they won that game. And to me it was a big deal because state game, state game. I played football, and I was wondering, could they be rigged on, high school levels?
I think at some schools the high school games are probably rigged, because look at what's going on with some of these high schools. Like, what are the odds that a high school puts out two players who meet each other in the NFL playoffs, which we just saw with Drew Brees and Nick Foles? I mean,
I didn't know that.
There's so many high schools in this nation. I mean, it's just astronomical odds to have two guys who played high school QB at the same high school meet in the playoffs. It's just, so I imagine a school like that's competing in some rigged games, and I don't think it's every high school.
It was crazy to me because I play football. I live in Texas. And I saw another thing I want to talk about in a couple seconds. We actually played against them. Highland Park, West, University. We actually played against them before, and I was pretty good for there, but I wasn't the best. You know what I'm saying? But we actually played against them. You know what I'm saying? So it's close to home. And that's why it's a big deal. So it's what's the email again? I kind of had a problem texting the video and sending it to you. But if I really want you to see that, on a high school level.
Send it to, here's the email. Send it to Gematria Effect Sports, just like my channel name, Gematria Effect Sports @gmail.com.
Okay.
I'll get it.
And that's one thing. My bad for taking a long time. This is probably bigger than what I was telling you about. You did a video a while back over the murder of, or the killing of, I don't remember his name. I think it might have been Jordan something. He was in Ball Springs, Texas, or somewhere around there. He was, I think it was Jordan. He was 10 years old. I don't remember his exact name. It might have been.
I forget off the top of my head, sadly. I cover so many suspicious deaths that I can't remember all of them. So I forget.
Yeah, I can't get mad at that. It was, I don't know if it was Jordan Bell. I don't know. But I just know he's in Ball Springs, Texas, around this area. I remember you saying in the video. Now, I completely agree with most of the things you said, because it's a lot of weird shit happening in the world. Just murders, and you know how it is. Like I said, you've done too many to even remember, so I can't even get mad at you about that. But I remember you saying in that video that it might have been a fake murder, or fake, or hope, whatever may think happened, propaganda, I don't even believe it, but I was there. I didn't see him get shot, but there was a party around in our area, and it was in Texas. around Fox Springs, same area. He got shot. He actually got shot. You know what I'm saying? That really happened. And the great thing is the fact that, the numbers and stuff actually added up, off the video. You know what I'm saying? It made sense. The numbers, it all, it was all, according, to, what actually happened. And, it was crazy to me because, like it was real, if he really died, it wasn't a real, it wasn't a fake, murder or anything like that. And, I was just, I was just telling them, that actually happened. Even though you feel about the numbers.
All right. Well, that's good to know. Yeah. If we knew exactly what story we were talking about, this is helpful. But yeah, I mean, sometimes I don't know just because of how suspicious the stories are, but I appreciate you calling in and let me know that. So.
Oh, well, that's it. Well, I guess to say that's, it for now, man. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I feel like I know you personally. I feel like I can't really compare you to really anybody, like you said. I don't, I feel like, I appreciate it, man. Let's say that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. It means a lot. How long you been following for?
I'm following your channel for a couple of years.
Very cool.
I think back when I first started the channel when the Broncos went to the Super Bowl.
Got it.
I always sports kind of shady. But that's I would always what I would do in class. I would always type in rigged on YouTube because I was losing something up. Then you got your little janky videos. Your regular, fan videos. There's breaking down how sports probably might be rigged. I came across your videos, and back then I didn't really understand, but a lot of things you made, like the numbers and stuff like that. And I was like, hey, I just watch videos. But that's how long I've been following.
Well, thanks for sticking with me, man. I appreciate you calling in and the support. So keep it up, man. You have a good night.
You too.
All right, take care. All right, so I just want to go back to what happened Monday Night Football, the opening night of the season. It was a doubleheader, and the games, they lasted so long, they went into September 11th. They went into September 11th, 2018. And notice how many points were scored. If you add it up, there's 111 points scored. September 11th is the day, leaving 111 days left in the year. And again, it all started with the Rams and the Patriots after 9/11. Here we got another caller from Texas. Hey, can you mute your video? Yeah, you're on the line, but you got to mute your video. All right, what's up, man? Well, that's what I'm saying. You got to sign up for Patreon because this year we got a clear read on who's winning the Super Bowl. But you got to sign up for Patreon to get the pick, and you also get my book. It's only $5 to get the pick, plus a whole lot of other content and the book.
So I just signed on Patreon and just say $5.
Right. If you go to the description of this video, there's a link to go to the Patreon page. It's patreon.com/Zachary K. Hubbard. You click Become a Patron. You pledge it $5. This top video tells you who's going to win this Super Bowl. And if you scroll down a little bit further, you can download the entire book. And you're going to want this book. Trust me, you want this book. There's a long chapter on how sports are scripted. So you'll learn this code inside out, and then you'll be able to do what I do. Well, I don't predict every game right, but I predict the vast majority are right, and I'm able to call championships successfully from early in seasons, which I do year after year and have done again this year. So nothing is a perfect science, but like I said, there's a lot of people signed up here, and it's because they're winning week after week by following this knowledge. You're going to win a whole lot more than you lose. That's what I can promise you. All right, I appreciate it, friend. All right, man, you have a good night.
Yeah.
All right, take care. All right, so hold on. I just want to go back in case you missed my video. It's still up on what happened on Monday Night Football. There was something that was done in this game on the Rams sideline. Hold on, I got to find this blog post. I got to show you what they did. This just had me going, okay, I think they're going to do it again. Rams and Patriots. It was this right here. Some of you probably remember this. I had a video of Monday Night Football right after this game happened. Hold up. Somebody's calling in. Las Vegas, sit tight real quick. I just want to explain something. All night they had number 77 mic'd up for this game. If you read out September 11th, it's 77. Same with World Trade Center. But I want you to see what they did. Don't I have it here? Oh, yeah, here it is. The camera sat on this for like 10 seconds. This woman giving the water to Gurley with the Star of David right on her wrist. Star of David. Star of David in Gematria equals 119, like Orthodox, like how September 11th can be written 11/9, like how there were the dancing Israelis on 9/11, like who runs your world of sports and media and money and gambling and all this. Look at who owns all the Vegas casinos. So anyway, when I saw that, I was like, man, this looks like, the ritual. And turns out it is. What's up, Las Vegas?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. Yeah, man, I just wanted to tell you, man, you're doing a great job, man, of getting this information out there for people to get it. And it's really making a big impact. I think a lot of people are starting to catch on to it and really grasp the idea of it, because I've actually went out and shared this idea and made it known to people, and and people have even told me to help them make money based off what information that you gave me on the chats and the channels and the Patreon. So I just wanted to give a big thanks to you for that.
Well, you're very welcome.
Yeah, so the information that you're giving out is like, it's golden though, man. It's really golden information that it's a trip how this stuff works.
It is a trip, man. It is a trip. I could have never imagined until I figured it out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. When you figured this out, I was just like stunned, because I mean the amount of time and research and effort you have to put into actually get this information out there is, what I'm saying, it's a lot. I understand that for sure.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
All right, I appreciate the call, friend.
Oh yeah, no problem. I just wanted to make that known, and just keep doing your thing, man, and what I'm saying, and definitely just keep putting it out there, and I'm gonna catch on to it, and let everybody else know what's going on, so that way they can catch on to it as well.
Very cool. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
All right.
All right. You have a good night. Take care.
You too.
Yeah, man. I'll never forget when they did this on September 11th. Early hours. What's up, caller? New York City.
Hey, what's up, Zach? It's Denim.
What's going on, man?
I just want to point out 4 quick things to the callers. Have you noticed that Jared Goff and New England have perfect gematria and 3 of the 4 base ciphers?
Jared Goff in New England, huh?
Yeah, it has 45, 171, and 45.
Today's game was on Brady's 171st day of his age. Huh. That's a trip.
Yeah, and you said the 53rd prime is 241, right?
The 53rd prime is 241.
Yeah, and Sean McVay has a 1/24 birthday.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's good for being the Los Angeles coach, because Los Angeles is 53.
53, yep. And his birthday was 4 days away, like how he gave the Saints their 4th loss of the season.
Right.
And Brady is going to get his 6th championship exactly 6 months from his birthday. And today he got his, speaking of 37 and 12, he got his 12th game-winning drive in the playoffs. And, in the playoffs. He got a 12th game-winning drive to set it on the screen. So just wanted to point that out to you.
Great work, man. Great work, Denim.
Got you, man. That's all, Zach. And thank you for the Patriots pick, man. I hit on the over and money line. So thank you so much, man.
Congrats, brother. Glad to hear that, man. Keep it up.
Thank you so much, Zach.
All right, yeah, you have a good night. See, Denim, man, he's good. He's on my Patreon. He helps us out every week. He's part of the community. But, man, I could not get him to come off the Chargers this year. When the Chargers and Patriots played each other, I said, please bet on the Patriots and get some money back. Denim. He's smart, but He sticks to his own guns. Let me see. What's up, man?
Hey, what up, Zach?
Another day in paradise. What's going on?
Oh, I hear you, man. I don't mean to keep calling you. I know you've been taking a lot of back-to-back calls, but I ain't talked to you in a minute, so I better say something real quick.
Please, what's going on?
Yeah, man, you know who this is, right?
Yeah, it's Nebraska.
Oh, okay. yeah, it's Nebraska, man. Shout out 402 out here, Terrence Crawford. But that caller you was talking to, he mentioned all the numbers matched up where you did a video on it, and he said it was like a local story that the Texas football player. That's weird because I remember a lot of the stories that you do is national news murders. That kind of sounded like a local murder that happens everywhere. And I've been watching a lot of your videos, so I don't really remember you making a video on a local story like that. You know what I mean?
I'm wondering if he's talking about from a few years back. There was a story about two young brothers got shot. One of them got killed on the porch, and then the other one went on to play college football. I'm wondering if he's talking about that story, and I can't remember the name of that child, but the brother who survived got to meet Obama. I don't know if that's the same story he's talking about or not.
Right. It could be one of those national news stories, but maybe just the way I took it, it sounded like a local news story that I didn't think you would be covering, But local murders obviously happen everywhere, like real life stuff. But no, I'm just calling, man. I ain't talked to you in a minute, so I catch you online real quick on the YouTube. I say something real quick to you, man. Everything's been good over here, man. How you been doing?
Doing all right, man.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good to hear, bro. Yeah, just checking in real quick. I got the Patriots on a plus 600. I took them at the start of the playoffs, plus 600 to win the Super Bowl. So,
well,
we'll see if that happens.
I hope that's a good investment, man. Good luck to you.
Yeah, my man. All right, then, Zach. Take care. Hold on, one more thing real quick. On the Gematria site on Wednesdays, I almost forgot about this. On Wednesdays, this was like a month ago, probably about 6 weeks ago, actually. Somebody called in and he kind of sounded like me. And you thought it was me because he was talking about a rap song that has a subtle reference to Gematria. And I told you CeeLo Green, Nipsey Hussle, Loaded Bases. In the first verse, in the first couple lines of the first verse, I told you, hey, listen to that real quick and just listen to how they just start to put Gematria out there a little bit more.
Huh.
And then he called you and you thought it was me. You even said like, hey, what's up? And you thought it was me. And
okay.
No, that wasn't me. But what's crazy is that he sounded like me a little bit. And he was also talking about a different rap song that had a subtle reference to Gematria.
Huh.
And I'm like tripping out. I was tripping out like, like this ain't me, but that's just, I guess that's just the real life stuff, man.
Yeah, that's funny. Parallel universe. All right, brother. I appreciate the call, man. You be safe out there.
All right, dude.
All right. Have a good night, man. Take care. Something else I wanted to show you guys. When Tom Brady became a starter, remember, Drew Bledsoe got sacked by the New York Jet. Remember this? Got sacked by the New York Jet, Mo Lewis, Drew Bledsoe. Number 11 went down, and Tom Brady came in. That was against the Jets. Let me take this call from Virginia. Virginia, sit tight real quick. I just want to make this point about this game. So, the Jets. Tom Brady's first start was against the Colts. Notice this. Tom Brady became 1-0 as a starter. Then he lost to the Dolphins 1-1. Then he beat the Chargers 2-1. Then he beat the Colts 3-1. Then he lost to the Broncos 3-2. Then he beat Atlanta 4-2. Then he beat the Bills 5-2. And then he lost to the Rams 5-3. And now look at who's meeting in Super Bowl 53. Patriots equals 53. Los Angeles 53. What are the odds? And again, what I'm telling you is this is how scripted it is. When this happened back then, they already had Super Bowl 53 planned out. Every year is a script, a continuation of the narrative. What's up, caller?
Yo, man, I was just watching your stream, and I had a few questions.
Please.
First of all, why would they script an NFL game?
Why wouldn't they? Vegas, insure outcomes, Why wouldn't they script it? The announcer says every game. You couldn't have scripted it any better.
True. So you think like they just sit around in the room and add up all these numbers, or what? Like I don't get the numbers. Like, what is the
So this is a
number?
Jewish thing. You have to know who runs this world, who controls these entertainment leagues, who controls media. This is a Jewish practice. This is what they do. This is called Kabbalah. This is what they're into. This is their language. This is how they run the world. They do this beyond sports. It's like last year, Donald Trump, and if you follow my work, I showed you how the entire presidency is scripted like this. Everything they do with the presidency is a joke just like this. Donald Trump came out on September 23rd, and he said, you know, shame on these NFL players taking a knee, and they should all be fired, or whatever he said. And I said, there you go. There's your Super Bowl right there. Now we already know who it's going to be. We already had the Patriots in. We were following another narrative, but we were looking for the NFC team. And September 23rd can be written 23/9, like 239, which is the 52nd prime number. And this was before Super Bowl 52. And the flag was sewn in Philadelphia at 239 Arch Street. And I came out and I said it. I said, this is your Super Bowl. And I said, you just watch. Philadelphia is going to begin this season 10-1. And they did. And the reason I was able to make that prediction is because Philadelphia equals 101. From the flag's birthday, which is June 14th, which is also Donald Trump's birthday, from June 14th to September 23rd is 101 days later. Philadelphia is 101. I said, just watch. The Eagles will start 10-1. They did. 101 is also the 26th prime number, and flag equals 26. And when the Eagles won the Super Bowl last year, they made Tom Brady 5-3. Patriots equals 53. And that was on the day the Eagles won their first Super Bowl was the birthday of Jerome Brown. If he was still alive, he would have turned 53 years old that day. Jerome Brown's the Philadelphia Eagle who died in a car crash at age 27, and I guarantee you he was murdered for the Super Bowl that year. This is how it is.
Man, well, I'm you smart. Anyways, I see a lot of people, they be thanking you for like, hey man, thanks for the pick, whatever. Like, where do y'all bet? Like, how can I start betting?
So
a lot of these motherfuckers I live around with, bro, they want to bet on $20 games and shit.
Yeah, most people are broke, man, and that our society is designed to have us broke. I used to do this for free. So everybody used to just get the knowledge for free for 5 years. I went broke doing this for free, paying for it myself. Plus I got burglarized. All sorts of stuff happened to me. And so this year I have a Patreon page, which you can sign up for. It's in the description of my video. You go there, you pay $5 a month. You get all the sports picks. You know, I get people betting.
I don't know if somebody capped it, but somebody just said in the comments they want 4X. I'm saying, how can you bet online? Like, do you know?
It depends on what state you live in. Some states it's legal, some states it's illegal. I happen to live in Washington State, where there's the most rules against online gambling. But you need to look up your state's laws. And even if it is illegal in your state, you can probably still do it. You're just not going to want to claim that money with the IRS. Websites to use, a reliable website is 5 Dimes. They actually pay out, 5dimes.com. So.
Oh, okay. All right. True. But yeah, man, this shit is great. To me, it's great. I mean, I ain't to be honest. I just watched it live. I looked up the NFL rigs, man. After that call, man, that neutral zone, I was like, hell nah, dog. He was not, but just whatever.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to watch, I have a video on my channel. If you go through my channel and search the video where I called the NFL office over the Packers Monday Night Football win over the 49ers earlier this year. You should call and see what I said to the NFL office. And that game was just hilarious because I told everybody the Packers would win for sure. It was all about 63. Aaron Rodgers was going to get his 63rd home win. Aaron Rodgers in Gematria equals 63. And if I remember right, the final score was 33-30, 63 combined points, a game-winning field goal. And as soon as he kicked it through the uprights, the announcer blurted out, "What a Hollywood script." And if you just pay attention, they say these things week after week. You couldn't have scripted it any better. You know, I still remember after the Cubs won the World Series, their big slugger, I think his name's Hayward, he went on the camera and said, "This is just how we scripted it." So the players are in on it. I mean, think about how much these professional athletes get paid. Think about it. Why are they paid so much? There's no reason to pay athletes as much as they get paid. There's no reason at all. There are so many good athletes in this nation. I contend that there's more great athletes that aren't in these pro leagues that belong in there than the people that are actually there. I mean, you see all these guys that drop these wide open third down passes and shit. That doesn't make any sense to me, especially with the sticky ass gloves they're wearing. You know, I used to play football. I never dropped a pass as a teenager. So I never wore those sticky gloves. Those didn't even exist when I was that age. It just doesn't make sense what you witness in pro sports. The boneheaded plays, the idiotic decisions by the coaches, the drop balls, the missed lay-ins. For example, you know, the other day I had the Lakers beating the Thunder. I think that's what matchup it was. And they did beat them, but they beat them because Russell Westbrook at the end of the game forgot how to lay the ball in. Russell Westbrook knows how to get to the hoop and put the ball in every time. At the end of that Lakers game, he kept getting right to the rim and laying it in all like he was a rookie, smashing it off the backboard. So it went flying way from the rim. I was like, don't people see this, man? Russell Westbrook was winning the game right now if he wants to, but instead he's missing the lay-ins because it's scripted for the Lakers. When you watch these sports games, you got to see how it's scripted. I mean, it's just a joke year after year. So,
all right, yeah. I mean, so I just got like some more questions. So you're saying like everything rigged, even NBA rigged?
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, it's brutal, man. Didn't you hear what I said earlier about LeBron James and winning on the real King James's birthday and why he came back from down 3-1? Dude, I literally probably won the internet millions of dollars off that. If my channel's been deleted 18 times, man. You have to realize that. This isn't the channel number 1. This is channel number 18 here. If you could go back and see the comments after the Cavs won the championship, you would have been like, wow, I never seen so much money talked about in one place.
Sure. Hey, but the thing is, how would you stage an NBA game? Technology. At the moment, you don't miss the shot. You miss the shot. Like,
technology, man. Technology. I'm telling you, they're using technology to ensure outcomes, to make sure balls go in and stay out. You know.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna tell you too. I feel like sometimes the footballs when they go in, like when they kick a field goal,
right?
I swear to God, like some of the balls be like coming in like post. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, exactly. Like what happened? The kick that sent the game to overtime for the Rams today, Zerline's kick. I don't think that ball would have gone. That ball was slicing away from the upright. I don't know how a football can be slicing away and then all of a sudden just make a total direction turn and go back towards the middle of the goalpost. I don't know how that's possible, but that's exactly what happened with Zerline's kick today.
Damn, man, that shit crazy.
Yeah, so there's a guy out here who's popular on YouTube and he says I'm a kook because I say they use technology in sports, but I'm like, dude, you're on the internet right now broadcasting a live stream. Everyone can see you speaking in real time. Don't you think that's crazier than putting a little technology to make sure a ball goes through some uprights or goes through a hoop? I mean,
yeah, you're right.
So,
shit, well, all right, man.
All right, dude. You have a good night, man. Appreciate the questions.
Yeah, man.
So anyway, the hotline's still open. I'll take another call, but we're getting a little long in the tooth here with this video. It's too bad I am on channel number 18. If we were on channel number 1, there'd probably be 10,000 people watching right now and a lot more people helping get the word out. But here we go. We got Ohio. Ohio, are you there? Oh, hold on. I got to get you on speaker. All right, what's up, Ohio? Ohio, you there still?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're on.
How are you?
I'm doing well. What's up, man?
Man, I've been following your work since about Super Bowl 49. I remember last year after the Super Bowl, you had mentioned a lot of stuff for the Patriots to go this year. So right around that time, I put money on the Patriots because I thought a lot lined up when it came to Bill Belichick being at age 66, just like Nick Saban, who he was with in Cleveland. Like, I've been trying to tell a lot of my friends how, these numbers and down to the detail, and they'll say things like, it's crazy coincidence. It's mind-boggling to me.
It is, man. Almost everybody's a coincidence theorist, and it's sad. But they keep doing this stuff, rigging the games this way. Eventually, these people will be broken. You know, how many more games can be rigged to the point, you know, that tell the stories? So before these people finally see.
Right, and I bet in August I told a lot of my friends that because we were talking about the 99 season, and I said I was looking at Aaron Donald, and I was like, Aaron Donald, wears number 99, as you said. You know, his birthday alignment is perfect with the jersey number he wears. He was picked number 13, and isn't it when you write out 13 as a word, it equals 99?
That's right. That's right. That's just like his name. Just using the alphabetic order. 13 and Aaron Donald are 99. And again, he ended his holdout. He ended his holdout 99 days after his birthday, just showing that whole thing was a joke.
Yeah, I actually kind of forgot about that. But another thing I thought about, it's not necessarily number related, was how he's from Pittsburgh and how Tom Brady, if he wins against Aaron Donald, he'll have 6 Super Bowl wins, just like the Steelers have 6 Super Bowl wins.
That's a good observation.
What's also interesting to me is how I grew up a Michigan fan in Ohio. I don't ask me why, and it's weird because ever since Tom Brady has been, on his reign of terror, we'll call it, Michigan against Ohio State has stunk, and I feel like that's the powers that be's way of like equaling out their universe or something like that. Tom Brady, I have always thought him like the Undertaker or whatever, as far as he just varies everybody, Phillip Rivers, he'll never get ahead of them. All these guys, he just puts them all the same. And of course, his career, as you said, has been a script. I mean, he started out, I'm a Jet fan as well, he started out against the New York Jets. And I realized the score I think you showed of his first game when he came in was 10 to 3 or something like that.
Hold up, I got to go back and look. I think I got it up here somewhere. You're saying the first game where Brady came in, yeah, the score was 3-10.
Yes. The reason why I think that's interesting is, of course, I knew today when they showed that Tom Brady had 11 fourth quarter comebacks to the playoffs, I said he's definitely getting number 12 on, it's his jersey number. He's getting number 12 today in Arrowhead.
Right.
So I think it's
right, and Patriots equals 37, and 37's the 12th prime, and then they win with 37 points, and it's a joke, man.
It is. And then I think what will happen is they'll be down in the Super Bowl, and in the fourth quarter, and he'll have to get his 13th comeback, and it'll probably be something that Aaron Donald will do, or something will be illegal hit or something like that.
Exactly. Did you see the penalty call they had tonight? That roughing the passer call, man. It is just brutal.
It was terrible.
Oh my God.
It was terrible. I mean, some of the calls, of course, just like the one in the Rams game where he just blatantly just knocked them out. And I'm just looking around, and I'm like, they didn't call it, and I just laughed. Like, there's nothing, at this point, especially knowing that the jig is in, it's like, there's nothing you can do but laugh at some of this stuff because this is so obvious. And just like Sirline's kick, I thought about his name, because I remember years ago, to show you how long again I've been following you, you had mentioned something about George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin and how they named people 33. Well, their initials, was Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman. And so I immediately thought about Sirline's name and how, Sirline's name, or his initials equal 33, and then they said it was a 57-yard kick. And I said, there's no way he misses it, right?
Right. Yeah, that's a good. Once I saw that was a 57-yarder, I was like, oh my God, the Super Bowl number. Here we go.
Yeah, and what's crazy is people out here, they just don't know what to look for. And there's a couple of my friends and family that I've actually got into Gematria and got into your videos and signed up on Patreon. I just want to give a shout out to you on that. And, I'm not trying to shill for you, but I mean, it's definitely something that's been life changing for me. The time that I've been able to get with your work and then try to learn the knowledge on my own and stuff like that. I mean, you just see how this world is just a big, turnstile of the Truman Show or something like that.
Right. Absolutely, man.
I appreciate you. This is my first time calling, and it won't be my last. You have a good night, man.
Yeah, you too. You take care.
Thank you.
All right, see you, man. I'm glad he had me go back and look at this screen because Tom Brady, he came in against the New York Jets, right? And that game was September 23rd. That's the day that leaves 99 days left in the year. And again, I was just 18 years old when this was going on. I just saw right through it. I didn't know Gematria back then, but I was like, come on. Patriot Act, New England Patriots. Come on, man. And I'll never forget it, man. And you saw it tonight. Just ridiculous penalty calls. Tom Brady's receivers wide open. It's just such crap, man. Just watching the Patriots year after year. What's up?
Zach.
Hello?
Hi.
Can you mute your video in the background?
What?
Can you mute the video in the background?
Yeah.
Okay, you're on.
Hi, Zach.
Hello?
Hi, this is a #1 Chiefs fan in Missouri. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you loud and clear. Glad you're calling in.
Okay. Here's the deal. I just sat through this ball game. I've been a Chiefs fan for over 50 years. Excuse me, I'm a little hoarse because I've been yelling. First of all, what would Robert Kraft need to do in Israel to receive a reward, and our government and the citizens of America know about it?
Good question. I wondered the same thing. He just won that Jewish Nobel Prize.
Okay. And so does that mean he did things for the citizens of Israeli, or did he give them money, or is that not something we need to check into?
I think it's something worth looking into. I think it's worth something looking into. That award is for people who are fighting anti-Semitism. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And my next question is, why is that team able to win so many championships, and there are other teams that have not won any?
So again, the sports are synced with the news stories that are taking place in our world. And this is something I started to really catch on to after September 11th with the Patriot Act and then the emergence of the New England Patriots. And something that I noticed as a teenager back then, I started researching 9/11, and I noticed that in 1968, World Trade Center construction began. 911 was made the national emergency dialing code. George W. Bush graduated from Yale and Skull and Bones. By the way, the NFL founded by Walter Camp, who's a Yale and likely Skull and Bones alumni. And I also noticed that 2001: A Space Odyssey came out that year, and the New York Jets won their only Super Bowl in the 68-69 season. And think about it. New York Jets, 9/11, New York Jets fly into Drew Bledsoe, Mo Lewis sacks him, then here comes Tom Brady, the greatest thing ever in the history of the NFL. And we've all seen what's gone on with the Patriots for all these years, just rules made up on the spot for them, bogus call after bogus call to move them down the field. I mean, it just happened tonight with the Chiefs. I mean, what was that roughing the passer call? And what a joke. And
Right.
and just you see the spots the Patriots get. I've just been watching it year after year. You'll see the Patriot come up a yard short of the first down, a half yard short, and then the refs spotted the ball a yard and a half up the field from where he's down, and then there's the opposing coach doesn't even challenge, and you're just like, what in the world is going on? And the other thing is, Tom Brady's whole career, there's not a guy in the league who's had his receivers more wide open for his entire career. And that final touchdown drive before the first half, that little screen pass that went for 50, 60 yards, whatever it did, that's Tom Brady's entire career there. Little tiny short passes that go down the field for all these yards, these gigantic gains. No other team has this happen for him game after game, week after week. It's just so irritating to watch. And, you know, you just look at how Tom Brady wins his Super Bowls year after year. It's just always some gimmick, some joke. It's because the other team did something so boneheaded. And, you know, I knew that for sure the Chiefs were dead meat tonight. It was just too easy to see that Tom Brady would pick up his 99th road win to conclude the 99th NFL season before heading to the Super Bowl, especially knowing this code. Again, Arrowhead Stadium equals 99, Patrick Mahomes Jr. 99. You notice Patrick Mahomes Jr. had 50 touchdown passes this year, Chiefs 50. Remember, you guys have started 5-0 2 years in a row in the season. It's just the entire thing is a script. And my great frustration is that people don't see that these games are scripted, because I don't know how it could be any more obvious. But
we can tell in Missouri. We can tell down south in southern Missouri where I am. And I've started doing my decodes. I've got neat Excel spreadsheets, and I had a number of numbers that looked reasonable for the Chiefs, especially when you decode LIII or Mahomes' 10th round, especially the 10th round. There were 49s and 131s and 50s and 44. A lot of date numerology that lined up, and the Patriots could have fallen to 1-8. So what is it that skews the team winning one direction or another?
So you gotta lock into the numbers that are really important for this NFL season. And what I showed is, you know, the 99 thing was a strong riddle. It was also a span of 99 days since the Patriots beat the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. 99 is a huge number this year. New England equals 99. Again, they began this NFL season with 523 franchise wins. That's the 99th prime number. That was a strong sign that the Patriots were going places this season. Plus Tom Brady's 41 years old, which is the Super Bowl number. Super Bowl's 41. So I've had the Patriots as a shoo-in for the Super Bowl since before the season began. And the other thing is the Patriots tonight, they were facing the Chiefs, and with a win, they'd get their 16th win against the Chiefs all time, and they got it. 53 is the 16th prime number. So you got to watch those prime number relationships too. And the other thing is, before the season even began, I said I expected the Patriots to beat a native team. And because the United States of America equals 99, this nation began with the genocide of the natives. I'll remind people that on Christopher Columbus Day, the man who was paid for by the Catholic Church, what we saw happen in the world of sports on Christopher Columbus Day, as we saw the two native baseball teams get eliminated, the Braves and the Indians, they got eliminated in the playoff. And Monday Night Football, the Saints wasted the Redskins 43-19, which is 62 points. Genocide equals 62. And the Dodgers beat the Braves, if I remember correctly, 6-2 as well. If it wasn't that, it was the American League game and the Indians got beat 6-2. Somebody got beat 6-2 that day, and the Chiefs or the Redskins got beat by the Saints with 62 combined points, where genocide 62. So you just have to understand what they're doing. They're doing riddles with history. They're using the numbers from U.S. history. They're using the numbers that are coinciding with the season, and this is how they're conducting the rituals. And
so do the dates today or the dates for the Super Bowl matter? Because the Chiefs had 44 and 15 and 5 and numbers at 5 and
right. So that's true. That was a big number for the Chiefs. I did tell the people on my Patreon, I said, if I'm wrong about the Patriots, which I really don't expect to be wrong about, I said the one thing the Chiefs have today is we have 15 date numerology, and we got Patrick Mahomes number 15. And if he does beat the Patriots will be stuck at 15 wins. And that can be the tricky thing about this. But what I told people is, I said, that's not the stronger narrative with Super Bowl 53 and the 99th NFL season. So it's
a game-to-game, team-to-team, season-to-season. It's overlapping many balls in the air.
Exactly. It's an ongoing narrative.
Okay. The referee for the New Orleans game was a ref where he lost his last game. Right. I believe it was Vinovich, and the Saints lost their last game he repped.
Right. So here, I'm going to tell you something else. The ref you just had for the Patriots and Chiefs game, before tonight's game, he'd only reffed one game where it was Patriots and Chiefs. I believe it was November 21st, 2011. Yeah, that is the date of the game that he reffed. That was a date with 63 numerology. Tom Brady's next playoff game is his 300 not his next playoff game, his next game period is his 307th game of his career. That's the Super Bowl. Mercedes-Benz Stadium equals 307. It's going to be his 307th game. That's the 63rd prime. And
okay, so Cleet Blakeman reffed a previous game.
he reffed the Patriots and Chiefs game November 21st, 2011.
Okay. What about the New Orleans Saints ref today? He was a ref where the Saints lost last time he was the ref.
The Rams had lost 8 straight games with him as the ref. That ended today. So they became So they became 1-8 in their last 9 games, kind of like how this season was the 2018-19 season. I think that's what they did there with that.
Okay. And I have one final question. The ciphers, the numbers, primes, all that, they never change. Does it show us, or how can we tell from the ciphers what games the Patriots have won in the past? And the reason I ask that is to see when the Chiefs or other teams might win a Super Bowl.
Okay, so you got to think. Okay, so this is how it is. So you got to think about what numbers are important to your team and your team's history. What numbers are important to the Chiefs? And for example, 50 is a big one with the Chiefs because Chiefs is 50, just like Mahomes. He threw 50 touchdown passes this year. The last 2 years, you've started 5-0, and then you've lost in week 6. Then what you have to start doing is, you have to look. For example, next year's Super Bowl 54, it's the 50th Super Bowl of the modern era. And we still got to do work on next year, but next year the Chiefs, they have a real shot. And if it's not next year for the Chiefs, I have a feeling we're going to see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl real soon. Perhaps it'll be 50. There's so much to explain here, but you got to look for riddles throughout their history, what they've done in the playoffs, conference championships. The Chiefs were in Super Bowl 1 and 4. Is that correct?
1970.
They've lost to the Packers and the Vikings. They've lost to NFC North teams.
Right.
So there could be a theme there with next time the NFC North's in the Super Bowl, they might be facing the Chiefs. But
and I thought they might play the Saints because that's where they played at Tulane Stadium in 1970.
So that's a good thought too. So this is how the riddles are. So you have to look at what your team's history is, where they've played at, what seasons have been good for them. You got to know their numbers. And usually the other thing I start looking for is news stories, because they're usually dropping clues in the news, like how Tom Brady saw a bear in the woods. That was a national news story July 4th. And now he's playing the Rams, where Jared Goff is a California Golden State Bear. That's the college he played at. And one of his best receivers is Robert Woods. You see how they did that?
Yeah, well, they just said that Mahomes' potential contract is $200 million.
Right. And it probably will be that much.
So do the ciphers say, or how can you tell, like the Patriots were going to win over and over and over and over?
Okay, so the Patriots had strong. Okay, so let's just do this in recent years with the Patriots. Okay, let's go back to Patriots and Falcons. That Super Bowl, Tom Brady, he had 62 passes, and there were 93 offensive plays in that Super Bowl. And as soon as it was over, I made a video, and I said, bookmark Tom Brady for next year's Super Bowl in Minneapolis, and here's why. Minneapolis equals 62. Minneapolis, Minnesota equals 93. 62 passes, 93 offensive plays. That's a lot. I said that's an insane amount. Plus, Minneapolis is on the 93rd meridian. Now, Minneapolis also has a Gematria 55, and the Patriots fell to 5-5 in the Super Bowl in Minneapolis, which was the game was put away for the Eagles after the sack fumble caused by number 55 of the Eagles. So there was that. So that's how we could see right away from the end of the Falcons game that Tom Brady would be going to the Super Bowl the next year in Minneapolis. And as soon as last year's Super Bowl was over, I pointed out the things about 523 franchise wins in the 99th prime and how Tom Brady be 41 years old and how Super Bowl equals 41. And it's just riddles like that year after year. And the year that the Patriots and the Falcons played in the Super Bowl, before that season began, I thought it might be the Colts. And in the NFC, I really liked the Falcons or the Packers because the Super Bowl, well, it's a lot to explain. But anyway, I forget whenever the Patriots played their game in Houston with Jimmy Garoppolo as the quarterback, there was this perfect ritual that synced up with the Super Bowl. And that's where I said, I think it's definitely going to be the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I think I'm wrong about the Colts. And it did. You know, that Super Bowl was hosted by Houston. They had this big ritual when they played in Houston. And so you just got to recognize the numbers, the scores of the game, how they measure out in dates, and you can just see how the script is constructed.
Okay. Well, the ciphers stay the same.
They stay the same. They're not changing. It's a system.
Okay.
Right.
So would you look up 10th round and see what that tells you? Because Mahomes was drafted in the 10th round. I'm sorry to keep you on so long.
Wait a minute. He could have been drafted in the 10th round because the NFL draft doesn't go that many rounds anymore. Was he the 10th pick?
I looked it up on Wiki.
Was he the 10th pick?
First pick in the.
Let me see. Let me just look this up real quick. Patrick Mahomes draft pick. I think I know what's up here already with it. Patrick Mahomes draft pick. I think he might have been the 10th pick.
In the first round.
Right. That sounds right.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was the 10th overall pick. So here's the thing. His star receiver, what's his star receiver's name? Tyreek Hill. So here's what's up. I have to go back and look at all of my notes. The name Tyreek Hill has Gematria 53, big number with football. But Tyreek Hill also has Gematria 55. And does Tyreek Hill wear the number 10?
Yes, he does.
So 55 and 10 have this powerful relationship because 55 is the 10th triangular number and it's the 10th Fibonacci number. It's a super important number, 55 and 10. And that's why you see this dynamic relationship between these two guys. You know, when you write out 10 as a word, it equals 39. And I noticed tonight that Patrick Mahomes got the ball back with 39 seconds and took his team down the field to send the game to overtime. Did you notice that?
No, I don't recall.
If you go back and watch the game, if you recorded it, or probably even if you watch it on ESPN or whatever and see the highlights, I'm sure you'll see that the drive started with 39 seconds. So these are numbers that have powerful relationships, 10, 39, 55. And now that we're saying that out loud, maybe we're figuring out when the next Chiefs Super Bowl is going to be. Maybe the Chiefs are destined for Super Bowl 55.
55? That's a long time.
No, that's 2 years from now. That's 2 years from now.
For 49. That's why I thought this was our year because we had a lot of 49s.
Well, and you got that long history with the San Francisco 49ers too, but no, it wasn't your year. I'm sorry to say, you know, as the guy who's been doing this, it was not your year. It was your year to lose in the AFC Championship, which is what I've been expecting for you guys to do for quite a while.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, this is Hey Girl Friday. I don't usually call. This is my first time, and you're a sweetheart. I appreciate you listening to me. I feel like I needed a therapist.
Well, I'm sorry about your loss. I'm sorry they rigged these games and break everybody's heart. It's a tragedy. So,
well, I will let you go for now. I appreciate it. I do have your book. I'm mulling it over and thinking about it.
All right. Well, I appreciate that you got the book and that you called in tonight. You be safe out there. All right. Feel better. Take care.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. I like her Southern accent. You know, us West Coasters, we don't have the accent. So, oh, we got another caller. We're going all night here. What's up, caller?
Not much. My bad for calling in so many times. I live in Canada. I'm in Hamilton, not too far from Toronto. It's 1 a.m. where I am. I got school tomorrow. But I just wanted to share what I got. So I'm Jameson Jones. I'm the guy who commented. I'm also the one young kid who went in the Masonic Temple that one day. I don't know if you remember me. But something cool. So Nickel Roby Coleman, the receiver who got the controversial call, he's born January 17th, the 17th day of the year, right? His birthday is exactly 17 days from the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl's February 3rd, 2/3, and he was number 23 who made that controversial play. I find that to be funny. Also, if you look at the date numerology of February 3rd, 2 + 3 + 2 + 0 + 1 + 9 = 17. Something else that's notable is that NFL.com, the quote that they had from this guy on the play was, "I was beat." They had that in quotation marks. When you write out "I was beat," it sums to 26, just like the Rams won with 26 points. Just like when you write out 6, it sums to 26. Like how the Patriots could be going for their 6th Super Bowl, which I find to be pretty cool. If you write out Nickel Roby, if you search him up on Google just says Nickel Roby, but he has a hyphenated last name where it's Nickel Roby Coleman. If you just type in Coleman, it sums to 63. Like how how Tom Brady could become 6-3 in the Super Bowl, which I find to be pretty funny. And also the running back on the Patriots who scored the winning touchdown, in reverse reduction, his name equals 63. And then in English ordinal, his name sums to 117. Just like Nickel Roby Coleman was born on January 17th, 117. So I don't know if there's a relationship between those two guys, but I thought that connection was kind of funny.
Yeah, very interesting. Great observations.
I don't have very much else to share. I didn't really look too deep into this, but something cool that I wanted to mention, I haven't called in for a while. So there's the different degrees of Freemasonry, right? And through talking to a Mason, I learned that instead of calling them degrees, Masons refer to them as chairs. You know, like they have different chairs in their temple. When you write out chair as a singular, it sums to 33. And then when you write out chairs as a plural, it sums to 58. And what do we know about those numbers, right? I know that's off topic, but I just thought that'd be a cool observation to point out.
It is a great observation. I didn't know that before. I want to know what their secret word is, too. That's the other thing I want to find out.
Ooh, another thing that I missed about this Nickel Roby guy. He spells his name with 2 L's. It's a butchered spelling. But Nickel Roby in Gematria sums to 131 using ordinal. And that play was essentially what sent the Rams to the Super Bowl. 131, a big Super Bowl number.
Very good work, man. Great work. Appreciate it. Good to hear your voice.
Anytime, my friend. Keep doing your work.
All right. Be safe out there. You got to call into Gematria Effect sometime. It's been like a year.
It has. Well, me being out in Canada, I switched my phone plan so I don't have international calling anymore.
I see.
I donate to the Patreon, and that bites me in the ass every single month because, I mean, the Canadian dollar is down right now, so I'm paying more than I'm supposed to be paying. But at the same time, that's a cost that I'm willing to make at this point because I appreciate the work that you do.
Well, thanks for being so generous. That means a lot, man.
Anytime, my friend. Thank you for taking my call.
Welcome. You have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
All right, see you. Yeah, he's the dude that went to the lodge and got invited in and was doing some investigative work. So it's cool. That's how he figured out these secrets, like chair and stuff. Let's see. We got a California caller. What's up? California. California.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see how I was going. Oh, you know what? Well, first of all, I just want to thank you for the good work that you're doing.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I have a good observation I wanted to share with you guys. So if you put in, I think there's one thing that you forgot to mention. I don't want to say you forgot to mention, but something I was looking up is today is the Wolf Blood Moon.
Right.
So if you can put on the screen, if you can put in Wolf Blood Moon and see what that comes up to, which is 161.
I'm typing it in. Wolf Blood. Is that what the official name was? The Wolf Blood Moon?
Yeah, Wolf Blood. You know, if everybody watched the game, I heard, I believe, what's that quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys? He was hosting.
Tony Romo?
Yeah, he brought it up. I'm like, wait, why is he bringing it up? But then he was acting like he didn't know what it was. He's like, wait, isn't today the Blood Moon such and such? And then I noticed he just stopped talking about it real quick. So I was like, you know what? Let me put that in. I put that in. Then if you put in, hold on. If you put in, put in Tom Brady. Put in Tom Brady AFC champs 2019. Tom Brady AFC champ 2019, and that comes up to 161 as well. So from that, when I was like, wait, hold on, they're winning, lose, I was like, oh, they're gonna win. It's his day.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know, and so this, but exactly that ties into what you were talking about. You were talking about some type of sacrifice that might go on the 24th or something like that. Well, this is like a big thing to them, you know, so that could tie into that whole sacrifice thing with Blood Moon. And that's what we all know that's what they do during this time. This is like a big thing to them, the Wolf Blood Moon, and then you have Brady winning this. So this pretty much let me know who's going to win the championship, basically.
Very interesting observation. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
All right.
So I just wanted to let you guys know that, and just kind of just bring that to the forefront so everybody can see what's going on. This is a big thing this year, which is the Wolf Blood Moon. So when I have put that in, and then if you also put in New England, hold on, what did I put in? I put in the New England Patriots are the AFC champs, and it has the same thing, 161.
Very interesting. Great observations, caller. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Good night. All right, next caller. What's up?
Hello?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, Zach. I just want to ask you a quick question. You know that book you mentioned from time to time where you say there are hundreds of ciphers?
Right.
What's that book again?
Faith Giovanni, The Divine Triangle.
Divine Triangle. Okay, thank you. The reason why I bring that up is because, you know, as the last caller mentioned, I just tuned in, but he was talking about the Wolf Blood Moon. What's interesting is, you know how the blood moon is mentioned in Revelation chapter 6, verse 12, like 612?
Right.
And I was just thinking about that number because 612 is the Minneapolis area code, and the Timberwolves play tonight, right? The Suns played in Minneapolis, where the area code is 612. So I was just looking at that number, and I was just typing in some stuff. And if you do 612 divided by 9, you get the number 68, right? And 68, that was the total score of tonight's game in Patriots versus Chiefs, 68. And total lunar eclipse equals 68 in the full reduction cipher.
Huh.
So I was just thinking, like, is there a times 9 cipher? Because that doesn't seem like an accident, you know, because the total lunar eclipse is when the moon turns blood red. And if you do 74 times 9, I believe you get 666.
You do. I've always wondered about a times 9 cipher myself. I mean, there probably is one that's out there. So
immediately I thought of that book, so I think I'm going to have to go read it and see what I can find in there.
she doesn't share what any of the ciphers are. She just makes the point because she only uses one cipher in the entire book.
Darn it.
All she teaches in the book is just the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. That's all that's in that book. She just does the entire book with that cipher, but she makes the point in there that there's all these ciphers that are in use.
I see. Well, what do you think about the times 9 cipher?
I've made the same point before because I just wonder, in light of how significant 74 is, if you multiply it by 9, it gets to that, you know, the infamous number 666. So I've always wondered that.
And 74 is the big Jesus number where Jesus already has the relationship with 666 with 151.
Right, right, right. Yeah.
Anyways, thank you, Zach.
All right, man. Keep up the good work. You have a good night.
Good night.
All right, take care. Martin Brown wants to see the Raiders get revenge. I think they're going to bring back Brady again, even if he wins. God, it makes me sick. I have a feeling they're going to bring him back, man. So. Did you guys notice who scored the winning touchdown for the Patriots? Number 34. The Super Bowl's on the 34th day of the year. You know. Let's go. Charlotte, North Carolina, staying up late. What's going on, Charlotte?
Yeah, man, I've been following your work for a while here. Just wanted to know. Hey, what's up, man? Just wanted to know, based upon your experience, what is the end game with Tom Brady? I mean, it's unprecedented that a quarterback, a team, can win for almost 20 years now. I mean, I'm tired of seeing them. I mean, you look at certain plays, obviously they're scripted. I mean, guys dropping balls, you can see him trying to miss receivers. It's just, he's like, I mean, it's like Groundhog's Day. Every damn year, man, they're winning all the time. So if I use your technology, can I see when the end game when I don't have to see these bastards no more? That's what I want to do.
So here's what I think about. The Patriots are still winning Super Bowls. They're still winning big in the NFL every year, and the wars that came out of 9/11 are still going on too. So, you know, the Patriot Act was all about the surveillance state. The surveillance state's still growing. So I just wonder if whenever Tom Brady's dynasty comes to an end, which hopefully will be at the end of this year, it might be. I'm worried they're going to bring him back next year too. But
I do too, man. I do too. He's not aging. I mean, it's just anyone with a brain can see something.
Isn't that the weird thing, man? He really
older, their play decreases, but him, he looks exactly the same. I mean, from 5 years ago, if you look at his passes, he looks the same. No one else has done that. I mean,
exactly, man. Because Peyton Manning was done. He was just throwing wounded ducks. He had nothing left in his arm. But Tom Brady, he looks young. He's still throwing the ball as well as he always ever has. Not that anyone's ever touched him or anyone guarded his receivers, but there is something really weird going on with Tom Brady. It's just like, is this guy a human being? Because, yeah, I mean, he looks like he's 30 years old still. And
Yep. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's unprecedented, man. So, hey, man, I support your work. Thank you very much. I just wanted to get that off my chest, man. You have a good night. Thank you.
Glad you called in. You make a great point. All right. Take care.
Bye.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I hate Tom Brady, I mean, he's figured out something in this world, or he again, technology in this world. I just do not know what's going on with Tom Brady. He looks like he just said that guy has not aged. You know, Tom Brady is not aging. So I know that on the things I do know about Tom Brady, he's come out and he said he drinks a lot of water and he's vegan, and I know that keeps you younger because I look pretty young for my age too. I'm nearly 36, and that's what I've been doing too. So hold on, let me go out to a caller here.
Hello?
You're on.
Okay. Well, yeah, I called earlier and I'm still watching your live. And just a comment about, Tom Brady not aging. Yeah, that does seem very likely. I feel like this is a conspiracy of mine, but I feel like since he's part of the upper echelon of in high places, I feel like, I don't know, he may be doing some rituals that we don't know about. But the reason why I call is that, do you take requests on a video? Because I was doing some research on my own, and I was looking at, the singer Aaliyah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, have you ever done a video about her?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you have?
Oh, yeah, man, I have. She died right before September 11th, and what Aaliyah means is the Jewish immigration to Israel. And 9/11 had a lot to do with Israel, the dancing Israelis. Her death was no accident. Plus, it was plane crash related. Her death's in my book.
Oh, okay. I just probably haven't got to that chapter yet because I have your book.
Yeah, if you just because it's an ebook, so you can do a search for Aaliyah's name. It'll take you to the page.
Okay. And did you also tie in the fact that was several months, not a complete year later, but in 2002, that movie Queen of the Dam came out?
Right. That's in my book. Yeah, man.
Okay.
That's all part of it. That's all part of her death. Yeah.
Okay.
It's sick, man.
Yeah, I can only imagine, because I was just with this whole R. Kelly thing going on, Aaliyah's name being brought back up, so I just decided to, look at, her life, on my own, and I was wondering, since you do other big celebrity names, I was wondering, did you do her? So,
Yeah, I think her death had to do with Beyonce too, because Beyonce and Destiny's Child emerged shortly after her death. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, I will definitely make sure I read that chapter in the book then.
Yeah.
Section.
You already knew though, that Queen of the Dam's a big part of it. All right, man. Appreciate the call.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, take care. What's up, caller?
Zach.
Make sure you mute your video in the background.
I will. Can you hear it now? Just because it was muted. What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. You took my phone call probably about, I want to say 7 to 8 months, maybe a year ago, and in it I just asked if you were familiar with the correct pronunciation of Gematria, and I also asked if you were familiar with the legal name fraud. To this day, I probably can't explain more than the internet offers, but I believe that that's a sign that perhaps there's more information. The matrix that is the internet. So just to throw that at you, also, there are a couple points I can mention. I really just want to say that synchronicity within each of our lives is based on how we view or maybe accept our universe or our reality, and whatever matrix that is. So I just wanted to address those issues. I'm also thanking you for not mentioning where I'm calling in from, just because there's so much to note about this area code and this city and this town. It sits along a major ley line, and so now that we're talking about moon phases, ley lines, practices within certain rituals and cults, that's going to be for you in the future to pay attention to in your story. There's a lot of narratives coming out of certain cities in the next year, and I want to say that it's to just guide you and your guidance in life, your reality, how you view things, so that you can research that path. And I'll just leave it at that. But I just want to thank you again. Kind of nervous. I've always been nervous talking on the line. I'm getting ready to turn 42 next month, and I was born in '77. My birthday is on the 26th of February, or at least the birth certificate, which we all know to be legal fraud, is what states that my birthday is on the 26th. There have been people who've also noted that they have been born within 3 days of the actual documentation, which is their birth certificate. So that goes to show you also that divine intervention talks about threes regularly. So that means maybe perhaps we were born within 72 hours or 3 days from the date of our birth certificate. So that's something I've been trying to decipher, trying to pull apart. I don't want to go into too much more. I think it's pretty obvious that I'm learning a lot based on my reality, and so I just wanted to leave you with that, man. Just keep up the good work. Your teaching skills and characteristics are truly acknowledged and appreciated by those, and for what you share, you should just continue, shedding the light and making light of things. People kind of do hark on the seriousness of things, but I think that there's a light to all of it. That's why I do believe that there's no such thing as evil or good. I think it's all some sort of balance. Do you have anything to maybe put in before I let you go?
You're making interesting points, and I agree. There is balance in this world. It seems that there's perfect symmetry in all things. So that's what I've observed.
Cool. Well,
Thanks again, man. And I'll probably keep up with you here shortly. I got out of work late. I'm a life coach. A lot of different paths led me down this road, and I just kind of worked with some people in my past that have brought me full circle to where I'm at now. So just want to thank you again for all that.
You're very welcome. Thanks for the call, man. Be safe. Have a good night.
All right, good night.
All right, take care.
I will, bro. Thank you, guys.
All right, a lot of people calling in. I can only take one call at a time, but if anybody wants to phone back in, I'll pick up now. So, again, you guys, I'm doing a limited. Oh, my camera froze again. It likes to do that. It'll come back. If you sign up for the Patreon, you get the Super Bowl pick and you get my entire book. Patreon.com in the description. Let's go out to the caller. What's up, caller?
Hello?
You're on.
All right. Let me just turn on my TV. I was watching South Park. So I was actually just wondering, how do you think, like, the Super Wolf Blood Moon and everything like that, like, do you think that ties into this at all? Like, what you're talking about? Or is it all with numbers?
Oh, astrology and all this is absolutely important. They even brought up the moon during the game. They made so when we think about moons, we think of howling at the moon, right? And if you look up what the Chiefs mascot is, it's a wolf. If you paid attention to what they did during the game, they said, "Oh, the full moon, the eclipse, it's about to happen, and oh, what could happen?" And then next thing you know, the Chiefs, they have the wolf mascot. Man, all of a sudden they became a new football team, and they took control of the game. And the Patriots came back and won in a nail biter. So I think that was part of the ritual. Moon also has that Gematria 57, and that's the big Super Bowl number. So. I mean, the games were scheduled for this date. Did they plan that? Part of the, I don't know so much, but it is interesting that wolves howl at the moon, and they brought this up during the game, and the Chiefs mascot's a wolf. So
I was thinking about that. Like, I saw someone in the chat say, like, the Timberwolves won at the buzzer tonight. Like, but last night, though, Nevada did not play that well at all. Nevada, they're a college team, but so I don't know. Do you think that college is also intertwined with this, or no?
Oh yeah, absolutely, totally is. I mean, the other year I said why North Carolina would beat Gonzaga and why 71 was the number, and then lo and behold, North Carolina beats Gonzaga in the college basketball championship 7-1. Earlier this year, Gonzaga. I'm here in Washington State, so I follow Gonzaga. Gonzaga started 9-0. We said on the Patreon page, we said Gonzaga is going to lose in the Jerry Colangelo Classic in Phoenix and become 9-1, and they did, because Jerry Colangelo Classic equals 91, so does Phoenix. It's totally scripted in college. Earlier this year, the Blue Devils became 11-1 in New York. Blue Devils equals 111. New York 111. It's the 11th state. They won by 11 points. The spread was 10. Anything that there's Vegas gambling on is scripted. Period. So, yeah, college is definitely just fixed the exact same way.
Okay, and then how far, like, sorry, I'm very new to this. How far out do you, like, think these are planned, scripted? Like, is this, like...
Deep.
Do you know what I'm trying to say here?
Longer than my lifetime. It's just like earlier, you probably weren't here. We've been going for a while, but earlier I made the point. LeBron James is just such an easy example to understand of this. LeBron James, they call him King James. King James, the real King James, who has a Bible named after him, his son was King Charles, and the people who fought for King Charles were called Cavaliers. This is why you have LeBron James, King James playing on the Cavs. And the year that the Cavs won their only championship, I guaranteed they would before the season began. And when the Cavs were down 3-1, everyone was trolling on the web and said, "Oh, you're wrong. There's no way they'll come back." And I said, you know what? There's never been a better time to bet on the Cavs. They're 40-1 right now to win the championship, and I guarantee you they come back and win in Game 7 on the real King James's birthday. And they did. And King James equals 89, just like religion does, just like there's 89 chapters in the gospel. But anyway, the Warriors went down with 89 points on the real King James's birthday. LeBron won it in his 13th season, like how King James became a king at 13 months of age. And there's even more to that. Nate Thurmond, number 42, had his number retired with the Warriors and Cavs. Nate Thurmond is the father of LeBron James. It's a secret. It's obvious. Look at Nate Thurmond. Look at LeBron James. It's clear they're the same genetic makeup, same hairline, same build. Nate Thurmond died 27 days after LeBron James won that championship, scoring 27 points. And think about it. The Warriors beat the Cavs, and then the Cavs beat the Warriors, and then Nate Thurmond died. So
So that was my main question is, do you think like college is also an environment with the pros? But you answered that. All right, thanks for your time.
you're welcome. Yeah. Some guy in the chat said I never guaranteed it. Bullshit. I've only made 2 guarantees the entire time I've done that, and that's that the Cavs would win that championship and that the Cubs would win the World Series they did. Next caller.
Hey, how's it going, Zach? Been listening to you for a little bit. I was just actually calling because I was wondering, you might have talked to it about it already, and I was wondering what your pick was for the Saints-Rams game since it's over. I've been wanting to subscribe to your Patreon. I just haven't got around to doing it, and I think you do a lot of great work, but I was wondering what it was.
Yeah, so what I told people this weekend is I said there's only one game that'll surprise me. If the Patriots lose, I'll be shocked because the Patriots were a shoo-in. I've had them in the Super Bowl all year. I explained that this weekend that it was a tougher call between the Rams and the Saints. Early in the year, I thought it would be Rams-Patriots, and that's the advice I gave people early. I ended up changing my mind, and I made a mistake. I actually thought the Saints were going to edge out the Rams this weekend. So
That's what I was. Sorry, not to interrupt, but that's what I was kind of thinking because I was following some of your stuff and looking at the Saints, and the Will Smith and the death of the player and the Grammy or Oscars or whatever was going on with the gold and the yellow, and just kind of all these things. But then I started thinking, I actually watched that movie that you were talking about, and I was paying attention to kind of what the basis was about the gambling and the and I started thinking about that one scene to where that Asian guy was betting, and it seemed like he was an example of someone on the end kind of going to the thing, but I kind of started feeling there was like a leading direction to the wrong path, and I started thinking about the idea of, okay, is this leading you towards the Saints? But in essence, it's not, because you're getting, I think, to be pretty known in this idea, and I'm wondering if people are listening to you from the opposite side, and if it's kind of trying to fool some people that might not know as much as they maybe think they know.
They're absolutely doing this. It's no secret that the national media is aware of me. I mean, they've written articles making fun of me now, and they've started to put out. They've started to do these rituals in recent years, and so like a lot of my followers started to think the Eagles were going to go back to the championship because of the Meek Mill album this year. And I told people, I said, yeah, the release of the Meek Mill album is interesting. He put out this album called Championships, and it was perfectly synced up with the Super Bowl in light of the title. And I said to people, I said, yeah, it is really interesting. But I said, we saw this last year. Last year, a story came out about Matt Ryan having twins that was perfectly synced up with the Super Bowl. Did that mean he was going to go to back-to-back Super Bowls? So they've started to, it looks like they've started to float stories and do things that are perfect synced rituals, the type of things we've used in the past to predict the games. So
that's kind of what I was thinking, and as I was talking to my wife about it, I was thinking, what better way to fool people going up to the Super Bowl to get them to bet on a bunch of stuff that are seemingly thinking they're on the in, and just they all they have to do is throw a couple clues to the people that are on the in to get their bets, or their money in the right path. And I started looking really at the idea of just the pictures of who's playing. I mean, you have the Rams versus the Saints, which is like the Baphomet or the GOAT versus the Saints, and then you also have the Patriots versus the Indians. And it's like I knew right away the Indians or the Chiefs weren't winning at all. I knew for a fact, even though I don't know nothing about sports. I don't watch sports. I only pay attention to it because of this concept. And my father-in-law, he's really into sports, and I talked to him about the game, and he's like, no, the Chiefs are going to go in. I was like, there's no chance. Because they don't fit the narrative. There's no way that – what does the narrative say if the Chiefs win? Nothing. I mean, 2019 is kind of saying a lot of stuff. You've already been talking about the Frisco thing. And I'm looking at the Saints and the Rams, and I'm thinking, well, if it's the Saints versus the Patriots, then it's like the Catholic Church beats, the Americas. But I was really sitting there going, okay, well, if the Rams go against the Saints or the Patriots, then it's like the Illuminati, Baphomet, Satan against the Patriots. But that's why I was just kind of curious of what your pick was earlier. I know you have your Patreon, and I'm not trying to have you divulge information that ultimately people pay for. I was just kind of curious to see if I'm on some sort of right path, I guess.
Yeah, you're on a right path. And like I said it before the season began, because this is the 99th season and the United States of America equals 99, I expected the Patriots to beat a native team. And here it is in the conference championship, just like how the nation began with the genocide. So,
and if you think of it, native Patriots, you know, like us versus, you know, the outside go kind of controllers, you being the Rams. I mean, I ultimately, like I said, I don't watch sports. I'm just looking at just the pictures, like, you know, the whole concept of the games on Christopher Columbus and Day and all that stuff. But anyways, I don't need to take up too much. I was just really, really curious about what your pick was to see if what I was thinking, you know, made some sense. And like I said, I've been wanting to get on your Patreon. I just haven't, you know, times have been hard and, you know, all that stuff. But I think you're on it. And
well, here's what I saw in the Rams versus Saints. The Baphomet's a good observation. The ram is also the ram's horn, the Jewish faith. Just like how on Monday Night Football, the first game of the season, it crept into September 11th. And then when it got into September 11th, they put up the Star of David on the woman's wrist in the game, which I made a video about. And I said,
yeah, I saw that. I was wondering why the picture was up, and then I noticed. I was like, oh, that little star right there.
Right. So anyway, the Catholic Church versus the Jews is kind of how I saw this Rams and Saints game. And what's interesting, if the Saints would have beat the Rams today, they would have got their 35th win against the Rams. And today's the 35th day of the Pope's age. And the Pope's 82 and Saints equals 82. And you might recall that the Saints became 12-2 on Monday Night Football, which was the Pope's birthday, and Pope Francis is 122. All year, the Saints had been synced up with the Pope. And again, this was the Saints' 52nd season. Pope equals 52. So that was part of the reason I ended up going for the Saints over the Rams. And I'm really kicking myself. I should have just stayed with what I had earlier in the season, but the Saints just had so many tributes all year with the Pope. I just really started to feed into that narrative, and it was a mistake. So.
Well, and it's hard. I mean, with the whole like them, I really feel it seems like, you know, they're kind of switching it up, you know, because it's almost like if you get the game, they got to change the game a little bit. And it kind of seems like with what you're talking about with the Saints, that was leading towards that. Like I follow some of the baseball stuff, and you're saying, you know, and how it's really hard to pick some of the pitchers, or if the pitchers have a good line, it's like they lose, and it's kind of like, you know, things leading up to what should be right is really wrong, which I guess follows in suit with, you know, negatives of them, you know, so.
That's where that phrase, your numbers up, comes from.
Yeah. So. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for, you know, taking my call, and I'll let you get back to it.
All right. Take care, man.
Definitely. Bye.
For the record, this live stream's gone way longer than I expected it to. And this cell phone that I'm taking the calls on is almost dead. So I haven't looked at NCAA basketball at all yet. I'll do all that stuff soon. March Madness is coming up. I'm writing another book. You know, there's only so many hours in a day. If you guys aren't aware of my schedule, you know, every day I wake up, I decode the news. I do an hour-long podcast. I spend my free time writing the book, keeping up with whatever else is going on. There's only so much time in a day. What's up, caller?
Oh, hey, Zach. It's Denham again. Seamus, he dropped a bomb in the live stream. Did you see the college basketball game between the Florida Rams and the George Mason Patriots on Saturday?
Florida Rams and George Mason Patriots?
Yeah, Fordham Rams and George
Fordham.
Mason Patriots.
Oh, Fordham, the Jesuit school. Funny. Fordham.
This is crazy. That's a bomb right there. That's something you want to know about.
Okay.
The Fordham Rams became 9-9. And George Mason's Patriots became 11-8. That's hilarious.
Yeah, there it is. Patriots 118, Tom Brady 118, 99th NFL season. Yeah, that is something else.
68 points.
Yeah. The Fordham Rams. That's a Jesuit school too, just like the Jesuit Pope. Something else.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing I've seen all weekend right there.
Great heads up. Appreciate it. All right, man. Have a good night, Denham.
That was Seamus. I dropped the tick.
All right, thanks. What's up, caller?
LA Rams versus the Patriots.
Caller.
It's the same as the Boston.
Caller, you're on. You've got to turn off your video. Caller, are you there?
Yes.
Are you on? Caller, you're on the line. Yeah, I hear you now.
Yes, no, you were mentioning on the Patreon that it seemed a little obvious, but it hit just like you said, the Rams versus the Patriots, the same like the World Series, the Dodgers versus the Red Sox.
Right, right.
And you were saying the Patreon that sometimes you overanalyze it and it seems too obvious. And look what happened, just like it was the same repeat of the World Series just happening again.
Right.
I just want to put that out there.
Yeah. Good points. Good points. I know it's true.
Right.
All right. Have a good night, man. Man, this really is something else here. The winning score 71. That's the big Catholic number. Catholic equals 71. Fordham's a Catholic Jesuit school. Basketball 68, so is championship. 139 combined points. Freemasonry equals 139. 139 is the 34th prime. The Super Bowl's on the 34th day of the year. See what these school names equal. Let's just see. Fordham Rams. Check it out. $53. How about that? Super Bowl 53. Okay. So there's that. George Mason Patriots. So we see how Fordham Rams is fitting in. George Mason Patriots. 105 sticks out. Just the masonry thing. Masonry's 105. 93. I don't know how that fits in with this season. That would have been a big number last year. Huh. All right, you guys. Well, like I said, I didn't plan for this to go so long, so we can wrap it up here. No one's going to watch this video because it's over 2 hours. Ben says he heard a stat. Hold on. Ben needs a wrench. I heard a stat about Brady throwing first interception in 237 playoff tosses. 2 times, 3 times 7, 42. The prime factorization of 42, the big Freemason number. Ian Howard's up in the UK. What's up, Ian? Ian needs a wrench. War mentality can have a wrench. Hayden can have a wrench. Caleb says he needs a wrench. Caleb, I don't know if I recognize your name, man. Probably I should. Caleb, if I see you around, I'll give you a wrench. Some people ask for wrenches, and I shouldn't give them to them. So, Sports Gematria says check his comment not too far up before we go. Well, hold on. Let me see. Win number 237, huh? Good one. Dan Behrendt definitely needs a wrench. The Rams got their name because their owner was a fan of the Fordham Rams too. Something else. All right, Caleb. I trust you. Don't be doing anything funny with the wrench. Thanks, Mo Diggs. If you have a wrench, you can ban people. And I'd rather people not get banned unless they're just straight up trolling and being annoying. But it also allows you to post links, like if you want to share something. Hey, next year, Drew Brees will be 41 years old in time for the Super Bowl. I just wonder. By the way, you guys, Drew Brees' birthday was 19 days from the Super Bowl this year. And it's 2019, and that's where things can get tricky. So yeah, LA Rams 19. That's a good point. Yeah, you're right. Same cipher. My new book, I'll finish writing it next month, and then I have to wait until it's out in paperback, which takes 2 to 3 months. So it'll probably be out April or May. Yeah, you deserve that wrench there, Ian. All right, you guys. What's up, Hillary? We're gonna call it a night. Cheesy wants a wrench. You can have one, Cheesy. I recognize. Caleb, the reason I didn't recognize you is because you don't have an avatar. I need the avatar plus the name to recognize people. You need one of these symbols, like Jeremy. Yeah, one more time, you guys. If you sign up this weekend on Patreon, you get the Super Bowl pick and you get the entire book. You know, I never did this before with the book. It's a steal, just $5. So, all right, you guys, have a good rest of your night, your day, depending on where you are in the world. Be back for the podcast tomorrow. Till next time.